Gaming news today is full of leaks, rumors, and questions, and maybe some bad observations. We're going to be taking a look at the lion's share of what has been going on, and there's even more coming out this morning, and that may get bumped to tomorrow. This format just sort of allows us to talk about all the different things going on, but sometimes I want to go and gather the information and then maybe make a video about it. So there's a lot of things coming out, a lot of leaks and rumors, but the big lead topic today is that Bungie is having more of their staff switch over to PlayStation, and we're going to be looking at exactly what was announced and how it was announced. The phrasing has some people thinking that this could be pretty significant for the future of Bungie and their other titles, so we're going to take a look at that. Also, the question, is Guerrilla done with Killzone? If you're reading the headlines, it might seem like they'll never go back or they're completely done with it. We're going to look at exactly what was said because I think it's being a little bit misrepresented. And also, more and more games keep coming out about the PlayStation 5 Pro. I had some games to tell you about this morning, and then more games, 2 more to add to the list just this morning, and I continue to wait for Final Fantasy 16 to say something. And there was a rumor about Halo and Joseph Staten. It has been sort of addressed, but not necessarily. And then just a quick note, the Prince of Persia Lost Crown studio could potentially be facing trouble and shutdown. I don't have any more information on that other than it could be happening, and everybody's pretty irritated, especially me. I was one of the people who absolutely loved the Prince of Persia game and the Lost Crown. I've been meaning to get back into the DLC because that was the first game I played this year and completed, and I hope it gets some award nominations, but we may be looking at another like Hi-Fi Rush situation where a smaller game that didn't quite sell as much but got lots of praise, adulation, and probably awards is seemingly having its studio shut down. So I'm going to go through all these stories very quickly with you. If you like this kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell button. We do uploads regularly on this channel, sort of like my opinion pieces, and then this is designed just to be a gaming news show for you to come and discuss the latest gaming news with me. So hit subscribe, the bell button, smash that like button, and we do extra content like gameplay in the green room, and if you become a member, make sure you pick Member Plus. So what is going on with Bungie? Well, more Bungie employees are apparently headed to PlayStation to work for them. According to GamePost.com headline, they say Bungie Creative Studios team moves to PlayStation to support live service games while continuing to work on Destiny and Marathon. And according to the article, Bridget O'Neill, previously Bungie Senior Director of Creative Studios, announced the move on LinkedIn. And this is what she had to say. She said, "Today was my team's last day at Bungie, but not our last day working on Destiny and Marathon. Bungie Creative Studios is joining PlayStation Studios to build the foundation for a creative team that can support all PlayStation live service games. As part of this move, I am taking on a new role as Senior Director of Creative at PlayStation Studios." Now, this is not new news. We knew that PlayStation was going to have their Center for Live Service Excellence and that Bungie was going to assist them with that, but this is obviously causing some people to question what exactly is going on. Why do you have entire teams now moving to PlayStation, and what does that mean for the future of Destiny and Marathon? She's obviously very vague, saying that they're going to continue working on those titles, but we don't know in what capacity, and so this could just sort of be a shift to consulting on those games. We don't know what supporting all PlayStation live service games exactly means, but she does elaborate further down. She says, "This opportunity to share our experiences working on Bungie titles with other studios that are building live service games is so exciting. Live service is hard and comes with a unique set of challenges, so with PlayStation and Bungie working together, we will be able to give a huge jumpstart on development for new games as they enter this super competitive market." Now, this, to me, as she elaborates, this sounds more like a support aspect in a consulting capacity to help these games launch in the best way possible, more than something where they would be developing or creating content. Like when we first read it, it was like, okay, are you going to launch live service games and then hand them off to this team of people and then they support the game? It remains to be seen what effect this will have on Destiny and Marathon, even though she did give assurances they would still be working on those. That sounds like that work would be more indirect than direct. So at this point in time, we don't exactly know what these shifts and moves are going to do to Bungie, but we do know what this does mean. PlayStation is not slowing down on their live service efforts. This means they are actually continuing to want to push into live service in a good way. This move, I think, really signals how serious they're taking it, especially given the abysmal release and the flop of Concord. I don't know if this is in reaction to that, because we know they wanted to do this, but maybe they're ramping up and maybe they're pushing for an expedited strategy because of what happened with Concord. Now, the other news story that you might have seen circulating was that Guerrilla is completely done with Killzone. I don't know if you've seen this, but that's what the headlines are claiming. Now, if we look a little bit closer, I don't quite think it's that concrete or dire. PushSquare.com had a headline that's basically what all the other headlines are saying. They said, Sony's Guerrilla sounds completely done with the Killzone series. Now, in an interview about the LEGO Horizon Adventures game, Roy Postma, the art director from Guerrilla, said the following: "We were done with it, Killzone, as a team. As a studio, we needed to refresh the palette. It was, by choice, the opposite of Killzone. I think the themes that this story and the characters represent are relatable for all ages and people, like having a found family of friends and finding your place in the world." Now, here's the thing. This isn't new news, okay? We knew that when they switched to Horizon from Killzone, that it was something that they chose to do. They weren't told to do this. This was something that the development studio wanted to do. And he is simply speaking about, at the time, that's what they were doing. Is like, listen, we were done with Killzone at that point in time. So they were done. That doesn't mean that they never want to go back. I think that people are being very dire about this. Number one, it's not new news. It's being turned into new news. Simply, it was an offhanded remark as they're talking about the LEGO Horizon game and the Horizon franchise. But this doesn't mean they'll never go back or there'll never be another Killzone. Now, I will say, with the success of Horizon and the huge investment into the IP, we know there's multiple titles, we know there's multiple projects. I wouldn't expect a Killzone to be considered in the near future. I just wouldn't. I don't think you're going to see it. I don't think they're going to do it, but it doesn't mean it's completely off the table. I think people are taking a comment as he's interviewing about the LEGO Horizon game, and I think they're taking it a little bit beyond what was intended. So, now, another thing that's been going on is more and more games are adding themselves to the list of PS5 Pro enhanced games, and first up is Lies of P. Art director Jiwon Choi said the following to Eurogamer: "At Round 8, we always strive to deliver a polished and engaging experience with Lies of P, and we're grateful to the positive reception of the game's optimism on all platforms. With the introduction of the PS5 Pro, we're excited to take that experience a step further, offering enhanced performance that we hope players will appreciate." Now, this is what they were able to achieve, so she goes into detail here. For instance, Quality Mode benefits from more than a 30% increase in FPS, delivering smoother, more fluid gameplay. Additionally, Performance Mode now supports full native 4K resolution, allowing players to enjoy stunning visuals without sacrificing responsiveness. Now, when they touch on responsiveness, for those of us that want consistent and good frame rates, this next part is especially encouraging. Quote, "We believe that frame rate truly matters the most in a premium action RPG. The precision and fluidity required for this genre are critical to the combat experience. Thanks to the PS5 Pro's outstanding performance, we're able to maintain an optimal frame rate at 4K, ensuring the gameplay feels as smooth and responsive as it should." So the impressive thing here, I think, is that they're giving you native 4K in performance, which kind of sounds crazy, but that's what they're saying. Performance Mode will now support full native 4K resolution, and they're also saying that, listen, this thing is great. I mean, it's another developer praising the PS5. They say, you know, this thing is helping us get this done. They said, thanks to the PS5 Pro's outstanding performance. And keep in mind, Lies of P is a third-party dev, another third-party developer with high praise for the Pro and what it's enabled them to do with their incredibly great, I think, very underrated game by the press. Lies of P did not get the score it deserved. If you look at all of the user scores, it's significantly higher. And then we have Stellar Blade, another game announcing PS5 Pro enhancements. And they just put out a patch, and according to twistedvoxel.com, the patch notes are that they added support for the PlayStation 5 Pro by introducing high frame rate mode to minimize input lag and enhance frame rate performance. The HFR mode requires you to have a display of 120 Hz output. You have to enable the 120 Hz output on your PlayStation 5 in the settings. And there's two new graphics modes. There is Pro and Pro Max. Pro will enhance the balance mode optimized for PlayStation 5 Pro, utilizing PSSR for superior quality. Pro Max will enhance and prioritize the resolution mode for the PlayStation 5 Pro, providing a higher frame rate. So you'll have to choose between the two, which one that you think. But Stellar Blade, another great looking, gorgeous game from this year. And I'm not just talking about Eve. The actual game itself was phenomenal. Now, moving on, 2 new additions just this morning. Rise of the Ronin tweeted the following. Team Ninja said, experience Rise of the Ronin with improved visuals and frame rates on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, they've not gone into details, but they're basically saying, hey, we're going to be doing an enhancement thing as well. That's what these tweets would indicate. One of my primary complaints about Rise of the Ronin was the frame rate. The graphical fidelity and detail of this game is fine. Team Ninja certainly doesn't really go into trying to make their game look like some next-gen tour de force, but because of that, it was very surprising that they could not manage 60 frames per second. It was probably the other major complaint I had is that the combat in the late stage of the game gets a little weird. Like, you practice with all these great sword stances and weapons, and then you're fighting like Iron Man in some of the later fights. They're like flying around the room and stuff. But overall, my main issue with this game was performance. The frame rate was very inconsistent in the open world, which the fighting was the main reason I kept playing, because the fighting was just super enjoyable. Now, one more late addition. Not apparently, this has been screenshot. The Helldivers 2 community manager said the following in their Discord. There will be differences between the current PS5 and the Pro versions, but what those are is yet to be confirmed. So they're basically saying, yes, we are going to enhance our game as well. That's not surprising, with how popular Helldivers 2 was this year. There's probably some pressure from PlayStation there to do that. So the list gets longer and longer, and praise for the PS5 Pro from non-first-party developers continues to stack up. Now, before we get to the games to put on your wish list and your radar, there was a Halo rumor that's been addressed sort of, okay? So if you missed this, the recent news of Netflix closing down the studio where Joseph Staten was located had everybody sort of buzzing. Maybe he'll come back to Halo in light of all the recent changes, because you're going to Halo Studios and you're going to be building a new Halo, and we know that a lot of his plans were canceled. Now it sounds like those plans might be able to come back to the table and at least have some kind of an impact on the future of the game. Also, there was a recent job on the Halo Studios, site or wherever they had it posted. There was this new creative director position, and it's recently been filled. So everybody was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's Joseph Staten. Now, PureXbox.com claimed that according to the community and research and people looked into it, that actual position had been closed earlier this month. And then Jez Corden from Windows Central said the following. For those asking me right now, as of right this second, he says, I'm not hearing any evidence to suggest Joe Staten has returned to Xbox or Halo Studios after the closure of the Netflix AAA team for now. Now, you can see there, Jez Corden is qualifying that tweet 2 different times. He's saying, for now, right now, this literal second, he hasn't heard anything, meaning it could be happening, okay? Staten could have known the closure was coming, and maybe that's why the position at Halo Studios closed earlier this month. With that change coming, with the renaming to Halo Studios in the new direction, I wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody picked up the phone and called Joseph and said, hey, you might want to think about coming back, okay? This type of a hire and a job switch wouldn't really make it down to the sources at the companies, like the people who typically leak these types of things to reporters. They won't find out right away. This is usually something that is very hush-hush and quiet because there's contracts and negotiations and things going on. So we're going to have to wait and see if anything is going to come of this. I think that would be very, very encouraging for the future of Halo to have Joe Staten back over there. Now, I've got some games for your wish list and for your radar. And the first one's to put on your radar because No Man's Sky has announced another new update. This is the Cursed Expedition. Funny enough, Sean Murray was tweeting the curse emoji, and here we are. The Cursed Expedition is here. There's a boundary starship, time alternating mechanics. You can brew elixirs. It's got an eerie story, horrific mandibles, portal gameplay, challenging combat. The Cursed Expedition is in addition to everything else I'm reading, by the way. This is just stuff they put in the game. This is just a free update. And then the Cursed Expedition is sort of coming along with this. Jetpack trails, unique enemies, bioluminescent pets, boss battles, and survival twist. No Man's Sky and Hello Games just continue to surprise and delight with big free updates, and I continue to think so much of this is related to Light No Fire in some way, and we'll have to see. And this little Millennium Falcon looking ship has got a lot of attention as well today. Looks very, very similar. And then the weaponry and the fighting just continues to look better and better. I'm kind of interested if I could play this game as more of an action survival game and not just pure survival, you know, have a little bit of that action and a little bit of fighting in there. I've always said that No Man's Sky was one of the biggest and best games that I just don't have time to play because it's one of those games that does require so much time. And it is a PSVR 2 really, really great experience. So another game that you should check out that I checked out yesterday, it's called Billionaire. This is a pachinko roguelike. I was playing Peglin recently, which is on Steam and the Nintendo Switch. I played that when I went to YouTube headquarters in Atlanta, and I was playing, Peglin, which is like a turn-based RPG pachinko game. Pachinko is the game where you like drop the little disc or the ball and it bounces off the pegs. And this game, you get to determine where different items and abilities land, and I played it yesterday. It was not particularly challenging. I don't know if it will get more challenging the longer you play. There were elements that also kind of reminded me of Balatro. It's a fast-paced pachinko roguelike. There is a strategy element to it where you have to put different items out there to ensure that you maximize your score. So there is a demo on Steam if you want to try before you buy. Billionaire is certainly unique. Now, for a game like No Man's Sky that is basically everywhere, and this one is on sale right now on Steam, so I thought, hey, I've been meaning to play this one. It's been on my wish list for a long time. Back Firewall. This is on old gen and current gen, so PS4, PS5, Xbox, and the series consoles as well as PC. Now, they have the Nintendo Switch listed on their website. Apparently, the publisher failed to port it, and the dev studio wants to port it to Switch, but they're not sure they'll have the resources. This was an update. Thank you for finding that for me this morning. Talika, one of our community members here, went and found that information for me, and but you can get it on basically every other platform. And you're solving wacky puzzles, and you have to counter the update and save the previous operating system from deletion. The fate of the system is in your hands. Obviously, very Portal inspired. Right now on Steam, it's only $7.50, and it's $15 everywhere else. So those are some games for your wish list and your radar that you might feel like checking out. So to recap, Bungie's moving more of its staff to PlayStation. What does it mean? More and more games keep coming out with PS5 Pro enhancements, and not just the enhancements, but third-party developers continue to issue high praise for the PS5 Pro. As well as the question about one of the PlayStation studios, is Guerrilla forever done with Killzone? And the Halo rumor about Joseph Staten kind of got addressed, and we'll have to see if there's any smoke around that fire. So, that's the news. Now it's time for the discussion. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Smash that like button. Let's try to get our first 200 likes. I know some of you guys are already gifting members. You guys are crazy. You never let up. Joker Quinn, Han shot first, and so did you. First gifted member of the day. You guys are on pace. You need about 100 members a day. If you want me to play A Quiet Place on Friday, we're in the theme of spooky October, I'll play A Quiet Place on Friday. And if you hit the stretch goal, Madam will play it Friday night. You guys can get a double header. We're offering you the opportunity now to get 2 segments on Friday instead of just 1. So thank you so much for being here and smashing the like button. I'm not sure what you guys think of any of these stories. It's kind of all over the place. I am really, really curious about the Bungie situation, though. Like, is this the beginning of the end? You know, like, is that it? Is Bungie just going to slowly be bled over, and they're just going to, like, get Marathon out the door, and then you're just going to be basically turned into a support studio? I just don't know. I really don't. My inclination and my instinct was that PlayStation wanted more Destiny. They didn't want them to stop, but like taking Bungie Creative Studios and moving them over to PlayStation for live service support, I'm kind of like, maybe they're convinced that they can do both. Like, they can support Destiny as well as all these other live service games. Like, that's going to be a vacancy at Bungie, I would think. I don't know what their role was up to this point with regard to Destiny 2 as well as Marathon. This entire situation with Bungie to me is a curious one because, You're going to take away some of their bandwidth. They've already lost some of their bandwidth through layoffs, and they're on the cusp of supporting 2 games, Marathon and Destiny. You know, you must be thrilled about Bungie. I mean, I've actually never vindictively wanted Bungie to go away. I just wanted the people that did wrong to get what they've got coming, and at least one of them got it. I mean, Chris Barrett was fired for basically being a predator. So it's like, you know, funny enough, he was the one, you know, you are the man. You're the man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure these are the people that were saved from layoffs. Well, okay, so if they were saved from layoffs, her whole team, why would their team be laid off, Eugene? You know what I mean? Like, so you go to this team that she's in charge of, and you're like, we were going to lay you off. Well, then what in the world were they doing for the game? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. They're separating the talent from the leadership of Bungie. It's a way to do a quiet takeover. I think that's a decent read of it, Corey. I really do. Like, I think that's a decent read of it. The leadership at Bungie is a problem. And listen, remember that IGN article where they basically said that the fear was leadership's going to bail right after the final payout because, like, PlayStation amortized the purchase, so they're not done giving them all the money. And when the final payout for Bungie comes from PlayStation, that the leadership's just going to leave. Yo, another order of coffee. Thank you guys so much. Joker Quinn ordered some coffee, a bag of the dark roast. Thank you guys so much for doing that. Listen, some of you guys ordered in the past couple of days. I have not been able to print your... I have not been able to print some of the orders. We're having an issue on the site. Creature's looking into it for me. I'm supposed to be able to print labels super easy when we switch to this new back-end solution, and as has been the habit with this, it's never an easy process. So I once again go back and can't print labels. I don't know what's going on. It just keeps pulling an error. So I do apologize for those who have been ordering. It's one of the reasons I just have not been mentioning it much, is because it's like we've got to iron out a few of these kinks before I really want to put the pedal down and start promoting it again. So I appreciate the folks that continue to order it, you know, unprovoked, because I'm definitely not drawing attention to it. We continue to have issues with this. It's one system has to talk to another so I can print labels is what it keeps coming down to. And Shiny Red Flag with the 5 bomb takes us to 219. Thank you so much. I appreciate that continued support of the channel. Shiny Red Flag. Guys, keep gifting. Make sure you renew your memberships as well. Like if you've already paid for it, I mean, celebrate it. I'm not watching Penguin. I was going to wait until it finished and then subscribe to Max. Team Ambush just renewed their membership and rounds us out nicely to 220. A 5 bomb away from me owing you guys some members. Thank you, Team Ambush. Yeah, we're probably not getting Prince of Persia Lost Crown 2, Demetrius. It's another game. It seems so similar to the Hi-Fi Rush situation. It's like a small game. People loved it. High praise. It's probably going to get some awards this year, and then the studio is going to get closed because it just didn't generate enough money. Yeah, I plan to watch Penguin because I saw the review scores on like IMDb going up for like every episode. I'm like, that almost never happens. Yeah, if you've gotten too many free memberships, I think they put you on like a wait list. So if you cannot afford your membership on your own, I am sorry. We don't have the ability to click on somebody and give them a membership. If you can afford your own membership, man, jump in and make room for the people that can't afford it. Some of these look fun. Derek might be delayed in watching the games for your wish list and your radar. Corey says, if you divorce the leadership from the talent, you leave the leadership with the husk of a studio where they fired people to save their own skin and Sony gets the talented devs. It's a smart business move. Insider Gaming is reporting that about a dozen Prince of Persia Lost Crown devs are working on a Rayman remake under codename Project Steambot. This is in Ubisoft Milan. Michael Ansel is working as a consultant, raising concerns among the team due to his toxic leadership. Other devs from the... Hang on, let me get the rest of the tweet open here. Other devs from the disbanded Prince of Persia team pivoted to Beyond Good and Evil 2 and the next mainline Ghost Recon. Okay, so disbanded, not shut down. Small delay, not bad. Oh, okay. So yes, they have been disbanded but not shut down. It sounds like they've been moved to other projects. So I guess that's better than being, having the studio shut down and all the people laid off. I'll never forgive the gaming community for their initial reaction to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I'll never take the people who say we want variety seriously again. Yeah, they want variety. They don't want the same old, and then a game comes out, and because it's a platformer, they turn their nose up to it. I remember people saying that, like, Super Mario Brothers Wonder shouldn't be full price. They were like, it shouldn't be full price because it's a platformer. It's 2D. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing. It's like, we need a return to when games were great, and we need games to be better. And it's like, okay, well, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you supporting the games? 155 roles within Sony Interactive Entertainment and take 40 or so and create a new sub-studio. This is not a sub-studio. So Bungie announced yesterday it would lay off 220 employees and move 155 roles within Sony Interactive. Oh, the 40 people are for the new studio. So this is probably the 155 people. Right? Because she's not starting a studio, Eugene. The 40 people are the studio. Her team's probably the 155. Right? Bungie Creative Studios, that's such a weird, I don't know why they have a name within the company like that. There's Bungie and then there's Bungie Creative Studios. Like, what have they been doing for Destiny 2 up to this point? Ubi's basically in a situation now where they only have two choices: sell or let the ship completely sink. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. They're probably trying to retain some of the talent and some of the people because that'll help your valuation go up. They probably don't want to shut down a lot of these studios because if they're trying to sell, they're probably trying to maximize the price tag. Now, once Ubisoft gets purchased by somebody, if in fact Ubisoft is going to get purchased by somebody, then you'd see a lot of studios close down. Creative Studios might be the multimedia division. I don't think you would task the multimedia division with overseeing all PlayStation Live Service games, Sven. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Whoever these people are within Bungie, they have a level of expertise that's going to be utilized for analyzing live service games and making sure they have a strong launch. That's essentially what she said on her LinkedIn. Like, that's what they're being tasked with. Now, moving them off of Destiny and Marathon, like, they're still going to be working on them, but they're going to be working on them from a distance. They're not going to be, like, working on Marathon and Destiny, like, directly. So, again, I don't know what that means for Bungie's operations. Like, is this going to somehow affect Marathon and Destiny? Like, the facts are the facts. No matter how positive you want to try to make this or how positive you want to try to like, have optimism, maybe, Bungie just lost a lot of bandwidth, and they're about to have a second game under their umbrella. They're about to have Marathon sometime next year. Again, which is why I just think it's such a stupid idea to even launch Marathon. But guys, welcome on in. As you're coming in, we're discussing all the latest gaming news. We talked about all the latest games announcing PS5 Pro enhancements, what's going on with Bungie PlayStation, the Halo rumors. Is Guerrilla done with Killzone? Make sure you're hitting the like button. As you come in, hit subscribe, chime in, ask questions. It's a safe for work broadcast, so a lot of people, they throw me on in the background of their day and treat this kind of like a gaming podcast or radio show. So thanks so much for being here. Let's try to get 200 likes on the video. Feels like Bungie is going to the chop shop. It quite literally is starting to feel like, yeah, they're just going to start pulling people out. Disc editions make up 82% of the PlayStation 5 console sales. Really? Wow. Maybe that's why the disc drives were selling like crazy when the Pro got announced. People like their disc drives, you know? How many of them are the original is what I would wonder. Because if you bought the new Slim version, then your disc drive's compatible with the Pro. I wonder how many people have the original, like, first version with the disc drive, because I have one. Any guests coming this Friday or sometime later? At the moment, I'm not really focusing on doing guest shows or shows with other people. We are trying to figure out a segment to do with 30 and Still Gaming. We were doing a recap of the week with him, but now we moved away from single topic live streams because this is what we have always wanted to do anyway. When I started streaming on this channel 3 years ago, this is what we started with. We would pick like 2 or 3 titles, throw them all in the thumbnail, and that's what I would do. And we moved to single topic. because we felt like it was more effective. But now that we've been doing it for a while, this seems to be a better format. It makes it really hard to recap the week when, like, every day we're kind of recapping the day. So we're trying to come up with a segment and trying to come up with an idea and a POV, because I miss doing shows with him. It just, we've continued to evolve what we do, and it's made it tough. I find it hard to believe very many people within the Slim are upgrading. Right, because they may have just recently purchased Eugene, yeah. Bring Jaffe on to complain about Astrobot being too difficult. Yeah, I would love to do a weekly segment with Jaffe. That was really fun when I had him on. Detachable disk drive used on the PS5 won't work on the Pro. Yes, it will. They've literally said that. Bungie is getting completely absorbed. They are done trying to do their solo act. They'll just become a full PlayStation studio after the leadership bails. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is the leadership will bail, and before they do, PlayStation's trying to retain as many people as possible, and then when the leadership bails, PlayStation will basically take over, and it'll become a full-fledged, no more independence at all. It'll become a full-fledged PlayStation first-party studio, which then you've got to wonder, what are they going to do with them? Are they going to... My contention and belief has been, since the beginning of this, is that PlayStation walked in the room and was like, you're making more Destiny. You're not gonna stop. Now, I know the pushback I've gotten from some people is that PlayStation allows their studios to remain pretty autonomous, but those are also studios that are typically doing well, smaller purchases, not quite to the degree of what they spent with Bungie, and Bungie suddenly abandoning their cash cow, like abandoning Destiny 2 or putting it on end of life or whatever. That's just probably not in the cards. What about a melting pot segment? You guys could talk about some of the biggest topics and review or discuss the best questions, hot takes that have been brought up that week. Yeah, something like that. We're going to keep brainstorming it because I like doing shows with him. I've been doing shows with Mike for almost 10 years. So, you know, we just need to get to a place where it just felt like we were forcing it, and then it wouldn't do well because it was like we didn't have something solid. It was just kind of, there was not a lot of focus to it. So the description of the disk drive in the store where I buy stuff says disk drive slim/pro. Yes, because they're compatible. Like, they made that very clear that the detachable drive is compatible with the Pro. Like, when they unified the SKU, that move was done somewhat in preparation of the Pro coming out. Once Pete Parsons and the leadership bails, Sony is going to start rebuilding Bungie. The name and the Destiny brand are too valuable, says Nightfire. Yo, good morning, feed. Good to see you. Bungie being thoroughly absorbed as another PlayStation studio is the best thing that could happen to them. I think I already read that. I actually agree with you, Brett. You know, I actually agree with you. I think for the longest time, that's what's been needed at that company, is that they've needed to be, the leadership needs to go. You know, it's good to get, you know, creeps out of the company, you know, like Christopher Barrett, like, get him out of there if he's in there messing with people. But then, you know, Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy, I for the longest time thought Mark Noseworthy was bad for the game. I feel like his vision for where the game was supposed to go was not good. And, you know, things I've learned over the years about Luke Smith, yeah, the game's probably better off without him too. The company's probably better off without him. You ever watched the video Ascross made where he got an email saying the top leaders are going to leave by 2026? I mean, I don't know about that email, and I like Astacross, so, you know, I don't want to sound like I don't believe him. I believe him that he got the email. I don't know if I believe the email. But IGN reported the same thing. IGN reported that there was fear at the company that leadership was going to leave in 2026 when the final payment from PlayStation came through, and that's why they were trying to rush Marathon out the door. Now, if that's true, and PlayStation has any knowledge of that, I don't know why we would be going full steam ahead with Marathon. I don't. Jason Schreier said that Marathon reminded him of Kill the Justice League, and it was like sunk cost. John Linneman's comments on the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, he says, so this ended up being more interesting than expected. I'm impressed that Nixus was able to helm such a project while simultaneously releasing many PC ports. They're really putting in the work. Nixus has turned out to be one of the single greatest purchases that PlayStation has ever made. Jiminy Christmas. These guys are workhorses. Digital Foundry seems to be very impressed with the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, which to me, again, the more screenshots and side-by-side comparisons I see, I think it looks like a remake. It's like a real low-level remake. I'm like, I don't know. NPCs look completely different. The world looks completely different. Remasters are usually, like, we've seen some of the remasters recently. It's like, oh, wow, you upped the resolution. Wow. Like, this is far more than that. Broken Earth says, PlayStation wants the studio. Why would they care if they push out Marathon and then leave? They're playing the long game. Yeah, Insider Gaming reporting that Xbox Series X just surpassed the Series S in terms of total unit sales. As of September, it's got a 51% majority. Oh, just in the US. Well, what about globally? What about globally? If it just now finally surpassed it in the US by 51%, I wonder what the total is globally. Even if it's a 50-50 split. Even if it's a 50-50 split, like, that to me is, like, that's just why they can never, they're never going to be able to shift away from the Series S in anytime soon. Okay, so this is just a water comparison of the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. So, like, on my side, obviously, like, flat, smoky, almost no ripples. You can't even really see through it. And then on the left side, you can actually see through it at the right angle. Like, you can see, like, leaves and things down there in the water. And then there's clear reflections, clear use of lighting, and far more ripple effects. Yeah. It's, like I said, it to me, that it is far more functioning. It's far more functioning like to me, in a visual way. In a visual way, it looks more like a remake than a remaster. And if you already own the game, it's like a $10 upgrade. So, hey, as you're pouring in, welcome into the show. Today, we're talking about all kinds of different gaming news. There is the Horizon Zero Dawn remasters getting some feedback. More games getting added to the PS5 Pro enhanced list. We've been talking about Bungie and Destiny and Bungie PlayStation and what it all means. Is Bungie slowly getting absorbed? They get to be mostly autonomous, but they do get to outright choose the game they develop. They have to pitch. But they don't get to outright choose the game they develop. They have to pitch, which is why this was rejected. Rejection was a long time ago, though. They may have repitched it. Oh, right. That's a good point. It's being brought to my attention that PlayStation Studios do have a lot of autonomy, but if they want to stop making something or make something new, they have to pitch it to PlayStation, because remember, Ben's studio pitched Days Gone 2, and they were told no. So it's certainly reasonable to think that PlayStation walked in the door and was like, you're going to keep making Destiny. I mean, you can't stop making Destiny. It's the only thing keeping the lights on here. You guys are too big to switch to Marathon or these other smaller projects that they were working on. Digital Foundry is always surprised when PlayStation is concerned. Again, I would rather them be surprised than to, like, overhype something and then have to make a video and be like, we were wrong, we overhyped this. I think their feedback and their breakdowns land much better because they go in thinking, yeah, okay, we'll see what this is actually capable of. And then they come out on the other end and they're like, okay, yeah, this was actually pleasantly surprising. I had a thought the other day, says Eugene. The Series S is going to make cross-gen impossible for Xbox. They're going to have to do a clean break with the gen. They'll either have to do a clean break or they'll have to do something with cloud. I don't know. Because they're going to have to make a switch. Because right now when you play on xCloud, you're playing on a Series S profile. You got to think about that too, Eugene. Like, forget the Series S for just a second and the next-gen box and make this clean break. What are they going to do with their cloud-based services? Are you really going to be asking developers over the next 5 or 6 years to keep making games for Series S profiles so that games can run on the cloud? Like, I don't know what their plan is. You can't do that. Your cloud is going to have to elevate it to a higher level of performance profiles, or devs are going to say, we can't do that. Yo, welcome back in, William Aguilera. with 4 months. What do you think about my recent speculation on X that they will either redo Concord and reveal it or pull the Next Level TV show episode before it comes out? I don't think they're going to pull the TV show. I don't, because I don't think that there's a reason to do that if it's already, been created and works and is going to be padding out a schedule. A lot of those schedules are under contract, I would imagine, as far as distribution and what Amazon's going to think. It's on Amazon, right? Anyways, I think that Concord's best shot is PvE. I don't think you can just launch it again and be like, yeah, it's free now. Like, I have a video that I'd like to make about that. We're just kind of waiting for them to say something, but I do think they're going to have to redo it. I don't think they'll pull the TV episode, though. Not the TV show, but the episode. No, I'm sorry. I might have not responded as precisely as I should have. I don't think they'll pull the episode because I think Amazon would take issue with that. Amazon would be like, excuse me? Like, we have a deal. We have a contract. This is how many episodes we're billed for, because that's related to us making money. That's related to us giving something in a cadence to our subscribers. I don't think they'll pull the episode, especially if that much money's probably already been spent on it. You might as well shove it out there. I mean, you got to remember that a lot of the people that watched the Fallout TV show didn't even know what Fallout was. A lot of people that are going to watch that episode aren't going to be like, Concord is woke garbage and it flops. Like, I don't think they will. I think in the gaming hemisphere, it might seem like they should because there's just so much stink on Concord. But I think they'll still go forward with the episode. If anything, because Amazon will say, yeah, no, we need that episode. What are you talking about? David N. Still on his first month badge and gifting members. He rounds us out to 225. I now owe you guys 5 members. Thank you so much. You guys are still on pace. You got to end today at 300, and you'll be on pace for the week. I have to play A Quiet Place on Friday in season of October and spooky. That's the incentive this week. Make me play another spooky game on Friday. You can make my wife play it Friday night if we hit the stretch goal. So keep the members going. Make sure you check the $ at the bottom of the chat. You may have a renewal to celebrate, and if it's a Member Plus or a VIP, those count. If you upgrade, it counts as 2, and we need more people to upgrade. I don't know why Xbox made the Series S. It was the worst console I've played on. So I think what they were trying to do, I was talking about this recently with somebody who's outside of gaming, and I was trying to give him like an assessment of what had happened with Xbox because he hadn't played since the 360. And basically what I think they were trying to replicate was the Xbox One got undercut by PS4's price point. And I feel like they were trying to take that away from PlayStation this gen as like a punchback. Like, well, this hurt us last gen. Let's see if we can't close some of the gap this gen by undercutting on price. I do. I think that was the strategy. I think the strategy and the goal was, listen, we have got to let's take this advantage away from PlayStation. They nailed us on this. Last time. So let's nail them with the same thing. Yo, Big O with 33 months. What's good, Lona? Been a while. Hope the fam is good. Big O, if you're paying for your own membership, thank you for almost 3 years of membership. We have Member Plus for $1 more, and it counts every month in the goal, and you get into gameplay and the green room. We've got extra segments now. It's $1 more so that we can tell the difference between gifteds and those who pay for their own. So thank you so much. Welcome back in, Big O, and you guys can use that upgrade command if you want to upgrade. Series 18% of PS5 sales in the US have been the all-digital unit, including 40% in September. Huge chunks of current-gen gamers without a disc drive. That's probably just going to continue into the future, I would think. Good morning, Nick. How are you? You think the Series S is for the younger generation? My theory could be completely off, but I think that's what they were hoping for. It's like, we got obliterated last gen because largely one aspect of many that the Xbox One struggled was because of the price. And a 5 gifted bomb from William says, come on, boys, let's make this man play a spooky game. 230 members on the week. He sets up the 20 bomb dunker. If somebody leapfrogs us to 250... Street Shadow says, correction on the Ben Days Gone 2 story. I believe a dev of the studio said they never pitched it to Sony. The studio killed it themselves. That's not true. No, that's not true. It was reported by like one of the high ups at the company. He's not there anymore. That the Days Gone 2 pitch was, they said no to it. They were told no. I don't think they killed it themselves. Days Gone 2 pitch told no. Yeah, I heard the sequel idea from John on a Days Gone podcast. Sony, yeah, this is reportedly not true. Sony rejected the pitch. Yeah, there was a counter narrative at that point in time. I'm trying to find the article. I thought at the time people said that, oh, that it was canceled or it was in progress or whatever. But I'm fairly certain reports came out that they had a pitch and they were told no. The source is interview with Jaffe and the former studio heads. But I thought the opposite was said. I thought they pitched it and Sony told them no. DK Bager with a gifted membership, 231. Or do I have the order of information backwards? Was there's the rumor that the pitch was shut down and told no, and then the truth came out that they basically canned it themselves? One of the guys that left from Ben said that the Days Gone 2 was rejected. Yeah, I thought that's where it came from. I thought one of the guys that left Ben's studio were like, yeah, no, we had a pitch and they told us no. Ben killed it. Sony never killed it. Jeff Ross was the director. Isn't he the one that said it? Here it is. Games Radar reporting. Sony Ben tried unsuccessfully to pitch Days Gone 2. A lengthy development and mixed critical reception put paid to sequel plans. Let's see here what it says. A report from Bloomberg states that Days Gone developer Sony Bend tried unsuccessfully to pitch a sequel for its game in the months following the release. Despite the fact that Days Gone made profit, a lengthy development process and mixed critical reception meant that Sony decided not to take the series forward. How was Bloomberg's report ever falsified? Instead of working on a new Days Gone game, they were assigned to the Naughty Dog multiplayer game and some other projects, and the group is now working on its own game. Days Gone was something of a commercial success. So Bloomberg claimed in 2021 that they were that the Days Gone pitch was told no. Sony's obsession with blockbusters is stirring unrest within the PlayStation empire. That's the name of the Bloomberg article that's claiming that Ben tried to pitch Days Gone 2 and they were told no. If that was falsified, we need facts, not just somebody talking on a podcast. Jeff Ross said the same. He said the game was pitched to higher ups and Ben and it got rejected. Sony never got the pitch. So is that the qualification then? That it was pitched? Its reception meant that Sony decided not to take the series forward. So are people coming to a false conclusion? There was a rejected pitch, but the pitch never even made it to Sony. The pitch never got to Sony, says Eugene. Okay, so maybe the wires got crossed in this report from Bloomberg, and it was like, no, there was a pitch, and it was rejected before it even got to them. Days Gone 2 not being made was a Studio Ben decision. John blamed his game not selling well on discounts and woke reviewers. Sony made him take anger management classes because of how he treated his staff, his own admission. Yeah, he kind of went on a... There was at least one review that was really stupid that took issue with, like, having a gruff white male lead. Shut the frick up. Nobody cares. Like, you know what I mean? Make your own game if you don't like the lead in Days Gone. Ben higher-ups rejected the pitch internally and it never got to Sony. Right, yeah. Okay, well, I mean... That would then mean, though, do we have any evidence of PlayStation being sort of bullish with their developers? Because the reason we were talking about this is it's related to Bungie PlayStation. So Bungie, I have theorized, was told by PlayStation, you're going to make more Destiny. Stop all these little incubation projects. We're going to absorb at least one or two of them. We're also going to absorb Bungie Creative Studios. There's about 155 of them, apparently, maybe. We're trying to calculate based on what was reported previously about layoffs and a certain number of people being absorbed by SIE. And now it's been reported that Bungie Creative Studios is heading to PlayStation to work there to oversee all PlayStation Live service games. So the question was, does Bungie have enough autonomy to say, we don't want to make Destiny anymore? And basically, PlayStation said no. I mean, even though the Ben story isn't quite the same because they never got the pitch to PlayStation, it still stands to reason if you want to do something different, you have to pitch it to PlayStation, right? It would have, like, the entire argument we just had presupposed that there would have been a point in time where Days Gone was pitched to PlayStation leadership, correct? Like, you can't just be like, yeah, we're switching games. In general, SIE teams pitch for features to executives. There are interviews for pitches with Horizon from Guerrilla. Right, didn't Horizon have to basically say, yeah, we're not going to do Killzone anymore, this is what we want to do? The other games Bungie was working on are being split to be made with a brand new studio, different from the new creative team. Yeah, like 40 some odd people are being spun up into a different studio. There's about 155 people just being absorbed into SIE, and I wonder if it's this team, this Bungie Creative Studios team. Guys, take a quick second. A ton of you have been piling in today. Hit that like button. It helps my video. More people will find this stream when you hit that like button. If you want to chime in the conversation, I'm seeing a lot of new names in chat today. Hit subscribe. Subscribing is totally free. And then you can talk in my chat immediately. I don't make you wait. We just do that to kind of keep the bots out. John Garvin went off the deep end a bit. His comments on Astrobot were so dumb. Yeah, that one was instead of taking it as a compliment, he like took it as an insult, which is just like the epitome of being childish. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Like, he didn't like their inclusion of Days Gone in Astrobot or whatever, and it was like, dude, like, you should take it as a compliment, bro. Naughty Dog kinda, but not really, when they were asked by Sony to prep a trailer for TLU 2 gameplay at E3, which from the doc they released end with crunch. Oh, the release ended with crunch. Hang on. Let me go back here to the Discord. Somebody's posting something. 2025 could be the biggest gaming year ever. Let me know if I miss anything. January could be Freedom Wars Remastered, Dynasty Warriors Origins, Marvel Spider-Man 2 PC release. February could be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Civ 7, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Avowed, Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 1, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, Monster Hunter Wilds. We're not even out of February yet. March, 2 Point Museum, Lost Records, Tales of the Shire, Atomfall. First half of 2025. Eternal Strands, The Altars, Dune Awakening, Killing Floor 3, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Second half, GTA 6. And then a bunch of games just for 2025. Ark Raiders, Borderlands 4, Expedition 33, Crimson Desert, Death Stranding 2, Doom the Dark Ages, Eric's Home, The Stolen Dream, X Killer, Fable, FBC Firebreak, Ghosts of Yote, Greedfall 2, Hell Is Us, Hollow Knight Silksong, Instinction, Judas, Little Nightmares 3, Mafia the Old Country, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, Mistfall Hunter, Mouse P.I. for Hire, Slay the Spire 2, Solar Punk, South of Midnight, The First Berserker, The Legend of Babu, The Sinking City 2, The Wolf Among Us 2, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. And then hardware, we should be seeing a new Nintendo. That's a ridiculous amount of that's a ridiculous amount of games. And again, he might have missed some. Always my favorite to just see a list of games coming, dude. These are just announced titles. FYI, Monster Hunter Wild beta on PlayStation next weekend. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat tip, William Broke Boy Lewis. Yeah, Light No Fire's probably next year. Yeah. Probably a new Call of Duty. Yeah. Probably a new Call of Duty. 2025 will be one of the greatest video game years of all time. It might surpass 2001, 2007, and 1997. I keep saying 2025 is going to be one of the best years in gaming history, and I'm going to enjoy it all in the pro. Yeah, gaming is dead, though, guys. Modern gaming sucks and gaming is dead. Guys, take a quick second. Let's try to get 300 likes. There are 673 people here. Let's try to get 300 likes. Take a quick second, hit that thumbs up, and let me know in chat. What do you think about this? Do you think that PlayStation is walking in the room and telling Bungie, like, hey, you're making more Destiny, right? You're making more Destiny. You're not going to pivot everybody to Marathon. You're not going to pivot people to these smaller projects. We're going to absorb some of these projects. We're going to absorb some of your teams. This team in particular, this team in particular, you're going to come help us with live service. The other thing about this is this story about Bungie Creative Studios going to PlayStation to basically like consult and oversee and support all PlayStation live service games. That means that PlayStation has not deviated from their plan to do live service games. Too long didn't read, Wheezy says. From what I know from most publishers, it's usually, we want to do this thing, here's what it looks like, and it's, okay, cool, here's your budget, or no, try again. PlayStation politely slapped Bungie around on Destiny and their lack of vision and follow-through. I mean, Hiroki Totoki said they needed some restructuring, and they needed some more accountability. And I think that's what happened. I do. I think that's what happened. I think so. I think they walked in and said, I don't know what you guys think you're doing over here, but this is not it. This isn't it. Which is kind of, it's surprising that Parsons is even still there, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised that Parsons is even still at the company, given what he did with taking the company into the red. Unless he's protected in some way. I hope they actually make Destiny 3. Franchise needs a soft reset to let the players in. It's impenetrable right now. Well, and you wonder with the Destiny mobile game, with Destiny Rising, is PlayStation going to want to sit back and be like, have that carrying the torch of Destiny? FCAT says, last time we were told to do more on a game, they were tired of it and they jumped. That's true. They did. Unless they shut down the studio, Firewalk Studio is made up mainly of ex-Bungie devs, so they could put Firewalk on Marathon if they needed it. Thoughts on this? Well, the assumption there would be that they want Firewalk doing that instead of Firewalk trying to fix Concord. Right? You're not wrong that they could pull Firewalk in to support Marathon. I think Marathon is another waste of time. I think it's a fool's errand. I think it's an absolute fool's errand. Any live service shooter that's going to be PvP primarily and not PvE primarily, I think is an absolute fool's errand. I think you're going to struggle to maintain a player base. I really do. I have a whole theory and a whole philosophy brewing about how to solve the live service player funnel, and I don't think Marathon's going to solve it. I don't think Splitgate 2 is going to solve it. I don't think any of these games are going to solve it. I think you're going to consistently have trouble when you're trying to launch a live service game that's primarily PvP. Oh, and like what Wheezy's saying, let's just add some complexity to the equation. You got to pay for it. It's going to be a $40 game. Like, who's doing that? Who right now is like, you know what? I really want to play a new live service shooter, and I would like to pay for that experience. We know how good Helldivers 2 was, and yet who is playing it now? It's maintaining a player base. What are you talking about? Helldivers 2 is maintaining a player base. They never expected to be as big as they were. Small team, small budget. They expected maybe 100,000 concurrents was going to be their peak. And now they're maintaining somewhere between, where are they now? They're doing fine. You can't compare Helldivers 2 to its launch week that they didn't even expect to hit. Right now, they're consistently day to day hitting close to 50,000 concurrent players just on Steam alone. That's them maintaining a player base. A game that never expected to be as big as it was. They never even expected that, which means they don't need to be. That was never the goal. They didn't overhire. They didn't overextend. They are well beyond profit. They're well beyond what they expected to get profit from that game. PvP, PvE doesn't matter if your content funnel and content speed is glacial. The biggest thing, most live service games don't have a buffer of content that can give them a windfall while developing content. Yeah, they're getting somewhere between 30 and 50,000 on PlayStation each day too. Right. That Helldivers 2 is doing just fine. Their peaks in those early days were completely unexpected. Like, if you're worried about Helldivers or Arrowhead, you have to understand they made way more money than they ever anticipated. That game is not just fully funded and fully paid for. I believe their next game is as well. Right now, what they're doing, I would say, is they're going to use the next couple of years to just learn a lot of lessons and do a lot of experimentation to fuel whatever they decide to do with what I would imagine they would do a Helldivers 3. I've been saying forever that all PlayStation Live Service games should include a relatively short, offline single-player story mode that can get players invested in the world and characters. That's somewhat related to my theory, William, and what I think needs to happen. Yo, Fonso, with 35 months in a VIP, he says, woot woot. Guys, don't slow down on the member count now. You're about halfway there, and we're about halfway through the week. You want to end today at 300. And we do have a standing gauntlet. Anytime you guys go 100 over pace, I drop a 50 gifted membership bomb on the chat. The same reason I think the First Descendant fell off so fast. But the First Descendant isn't it still pulling good numbers? First Descendant Steam charts. I feel like the First Descendant is still hitting good numbers for a live service game. It's actually down pretty low on Steam. They're only hitting about 18 to 19,000 player peaks. Maybe it's got more people on console. I don't know. We don't have a way of running the numbers. Vault from anywhere. Guardians can now toggle vault mode in their character's inventory, allowing you to deposit and withdraw items from your vault anywhere, anytime. How's this just now making it into the game? Yeah, 10 years later. Sven, 10 years later, you no longer need DIM. You don't need Destiny Item Manager anymore. I'm being told that this person doesn't think that they're telling Bungie to do anything because of their autonomous contract, but anyone moving under the Sony umbrella are not in control of Bungie. I guess my question would then be, when Hiroki Totoki talks about restructuring needed and accountability needed, how do you enforce that if you have this company acting completely autonomous? How do you end up with some of their employees? How do you end up with one of their, like, spinning up a studio from them? Is PlayStation going over there with their arms open wide saying, give us some of your people, instead of having them all go home? Or is PlayStation going over and saying, this is what's going to happen? You know, I wonder how independent they really are. You know, I really do. I wonder how independent they really are. Because I feel like the entire thing's been overstated. Not dim still necessary. You can't move between characters. Oh, right. Monster Hunter Wilds open beta has been announced. PlayStation Plus will get early access October the 28th through the 31st. The open beta will be the 31st through November the 4th. It includes the character creator and story trial, with progress transferring to the full game. So the Monster Hunter Wilds open beta, your progress will transfer to the full game. I'm genuinely curious how that game is going to run, given everything that we've seen about it. Like, the performance of that game is, I'm not sure. If the contract milestones fail, Sony can claw control. Just not sure what those are. Well, and are some of those contract milestones affecting the shuttering of incubation projects or absorbing of incubation projects, and then shifting Bungie back to primarily being a Destiny studio and Marathon as well? Bungie is as independent as other first-party studios, I feel like. Wasn't the deal that Bungie maintained independence as long as they were successful? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of milestones or, profitability they had to maintain. Black Ops 6 at 9 p.m. tomorrow here. Legit excited to play the new story. Yeah, we'll be playing Black Ops 6 campaign on Friday. Which of these three possibilities do you think are more likely for Firewalk Studios? They redo Concord, they are shut down, they're put on something else. That they redo Concord because there's already been updates on Steam to the PvE mode. I think I do. I wonder if we're ever going to get an autopsy here. I think Concord was originally a PvE game. At some point, at some level, it was not strictly 5v5 hero shooter. There's just something in my bones that tells me there was a time where they conceived of that game being PvE, or at least having two types of ways to play it, and I think they shifted to 5v5 hero shooter at some point. I could be totally wrong on this, but again, my instinct and my gut, that team, those characters, the shooting, the mechanics, the abilities, I just don't know. There's something about it that just seems off to me. Thoughts on PlayStation trying to make Crimson Desert exclusive? I mean, it's par for the course. They see something that they think looks promising and they try to lock it down. Do you want to know why they're doing that? The reason that PlayStation is trying to lock down an exclusive like Crimson Desert is because they know that Xbox won't. Xbox has moved away from doing that. Xbox decided to buy ZeniMax and ABK. That's their strategy. They moved away from paying for exclusivity in the Xbox One PS4 era, and it hurt them real bad. So now they're trying to do like a massive land grab with ZeniMax and ABK. I don't think they're interested in like paying for like those individual exclusivity deals anymore. They did with Stalker 2, but that again is like such a short, what is it, like 3 months? Correction, Monster Hunter Progress does not transfer over to the full game. Only the character creation transfers over? What's this tweet say? I mean, I was just reading Okami's tweet. Okami says, includes the character creator and story trial with progress transferring to the full game. Is Okami incorrect? Beta will include crossplay as well. All right, let's just go to the website where they talk about it. Where do they see? I'll just search for the word transfer. If you play the full version of the game with the same account that you used to play the open beta, you will be able to transfer the character creation data for your Hunter and Palico. Note, you must be connected to the internet. Character data transferred in the OBT will be saved on the server and will be available when creating your character in the full version. Only character data from character creation can be transferred. No other data will carry over. Character data from character creation may not carry over to the full version. Oh, those are notes below. Yeah, so Okami's tweet is inaccurate. The transfer is just the person that you created. Maximo with a Member Plus renewal bumps the membership line to 233. Thank you guys so much. We're trying to get to 300 members today to stay on pace for Friday, and every Member Plus and VIP renewal counts. If you upgrade, it counts as 2. So consider upgrading today to help us out with the count, and also it opens up more room in the gifted pool for others to get a gifted membership. So if Xbox won't do exclusives, why should Sony spend the money on exclusives? Devs already don't focus on Xbox as a priority. Well, because they get to use the marketing. They get the marketing. They get to say it's an exclusive. You're basically just continuing to tell the public, hey, this is the best place to play all these games. Like, to think that PlayStation's going to stop doing that simply because Xbox has thrown in the towel on the console war, you know. Our Member Plus and up count is the highest it's ever been, 565. We need 35 people to upgrade. We want to get to the milestone of 600, and we'll celebrate with an IRL stream and a giveaway. We need 35 people to upgrade, though. We're the closest to 600 we've ever been. When Sony buys exclusives, they often aren't just buying exclusivity. They are providing support and development. It's not just cash. They're helping to ensure the product is good. Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what the Black Myth Wukong secret exclusivity deal, that's what the rumor is that Sony offered to help, and they had like a quid pro quo. Like, we'll help you with Black Myth Wukong if you make the game exclusive. That to me again sounds like the telephone game of the rumor mill. It's like, it's just, they offered to help with the engineering and the development, and it turned into, oh well, it's now an exclusive on PlayStation. I think everybody's looking at that thing upside down. If PlayStation offered to help with Black Myth Wukong, it stands to reason the developers were needing help with the console version of the game. Which it stands to reason then that they would have more optimization struggles due to the Series S, and if Xbox didn't offer any help, yeah, it makes perfectly good sense that you'd look at that situation and say, well, PlayStation offered to help, and now it's coming to Xbox late, so there was some kind of quid pro quo that went on there. And it's like, no, I don't think so. You have to rewind the clock. There was an impetus for PlayStation to help Black Myth Wukong developers, which we can see the evidence of the version of the game. The version of the game that launched is, the version of the game that launched literally isn't great. It's not even in good shape on console. So it stands to reason that the developers were having issue with the console version of Black Myth Wukong, and PlayStation leaned in to help. I'm being told that there was somebody inside that has confirmed that all that happened was PlayStation assisted with the game. There was no quid pro quo. Everybody's got sources, right? Everybody's got sources. I've got a source that's saying they just assisted. And that makes way more sense than, hey, we'll assist, but you got to give us exclusivity. Like, what? It makes way more sense that, like, PlayStation leaned in and assisted, and that created a natural bent to the PlayStation platform. It's like, well, they're helping us, and we're having trouble with this game on console, and that game, and that platform over there, we got to wrangle with the Series S. And now it's being interpreted as, oh, well, PlayStation offered to help if they made it a timed exclusive. With zero marketing and a not very well optimized game at launch to begin with for PlayStation. Like, come on, man. This just seems so painfully obvious. I think that PlayStation is helping with Black Myth. They wanted their console prioritized for game release over Xbox. That's just my opinion, not an actual exclusivity deal. I think it's more emergent than that. I think it's just the emergent property that came out of that relationship was impetus. We're having issues with Black Myth Wukong coming to console. All right? They clearly prioritize PC development. PlayStation says, hey, we'll come help. And when they come help, naturally, what's that going to do? It's going to expedite the version for PlayStation. It's going to create a magnetism to the PlayStation platform. And it's going to naturally deprioritize Series S and X. There's no quid pro quo there. That's just the emergent property of the impetus being having issues coming to console and PlayStation leaning in to help. Like, that just seems like the easiest explanation. If we apply Occam's razor, that's far more likely the explanation than somebody like, we'll help you, but only if you give us exclusivity. No marketing, nothing else, just exclusivity. It's like, why would you do that? You don't need to do a quid pro quo. Just offer to help. And naturally, let's just say they didn't even need to do a quid pro quo, because if the game launched and they were helping, it was going to run better on PlayStation anyway. People don't realize how much Sony does to get games made. Another example, they created one of the best motion capture facilities in the world, and other studios use it. All the support Sony provides other studios is often overlooked. I'll never understand why people think Sony sending devs to help studio optimize a game for this console is a dunk on Sony. Yeah, I mean, Xbox has done that before. Xbox did it with Starfield. Xbox was doing it with Larian Studios and Baldur's Gate 3. And then Larian said, get the frick out of here. We're not doing split screen on the Series S. We got better fish. We got bigger fish to fry than fiddling around with this crap. They were not going to help ready up an Xbox version. It makes sense. Every screen isn't a PlayStation. Yeah. Guys, real quick, we need 35 more likes on the video. Let's go. I think we're sitting on a TV runner somewhere. lot of people here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you're subscribed with the bell button on. If I'm ever not on your homepage, always make sure to check your subscriber tab. We're doing uploads almost every day. We do a live stream every day. And then we do all kinds of extra content for the members. So consider jumping in as a member. If you are going to pick up your own membership, make sure you pick Member Plus. That gets you into the green room and to gameplay. Xbox helped with Starfield, and they still couldn't get it above 30 at launch. Yeah, because Xbox was helping Starfield get ready for the Series S, because I don't believe there was any other... There's no other way to make sense of Xbox sending engineers to Bethesda. That just doesn't make any sense. Like, Phil Spencer said something to the effect of... Where's the quote? Oh, no, I deleted my quote. Oh, I had the quote, because I always have a hard time remembering it. I had the quote at the top of my... my one assets room, and it's gone. Shoot. I must have deleted it by accident. It was basically like, we sent people to help them get their game to run on our technology. And it's like, there's only one piece of technology that you have that you would need to assist Bethesda with getting the game to run on, and it's the Series S. It doesn't make any other sense. Bethesda's not over there like, herp-a-derp, how do we get this game to run? We need help. Like, no. No. Black Myth didn't look great to me on PS5 because it doesn't. Because it doesn't look great. It's a 30 FPS game and they use frame gen to double the frames. It's the most ridiculous thing. Yeah, I'm being told that there was no payment for exclusivity, okay? There was a development working relationship, right? The focus on their single platform. All right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I've just had pretty good confirmation that my theory is correct. Given the challenges of the Series S and the X, Game Science is like, you know what? Let's focus our attention over here. Quite literally, the theory that I just trotted out with, I just got some pretty good confirmation that that's quite literally what happened with Black Myth Wukong. No secret exclusivity deal, no quid pro quo. People on the inside are saying, we offered to help, we helped, and because we helped, they decided to focus their attention on PlayStation because of the challenges of the Series S and the X, as has been seen with other titles. This isn't some unique situation. Baldur's Gate 3... Inatria, and there was at least 2 other smaller titles that had issues that were delaying their release on the series, on the Xbox console. Like, just put the whole thing to bed. Put the whole thing to bed. And I know people keep saying, well, why wouldn't they deny it? Why wouldn't they deny it? I don't think they want to dignify rumor mill garbage, because that's all it is. Somebody spread a rumor. Now, I'm not saying reporting that you heard that is wrong. You heard a rumor. You heard a source say there was quid pro quo. Whoever said that's incorrect. It isn't the case. Yeah, I have another source telling me that they know one of the engineers that helped with Black Myth Wukong. There was no deal. They needed help. Quite literally the theory that I just trotted out. They were having difficulty with Black Myth Wukong coming to console. PlayStation leans in to help, and that creates a natural magnetism to their platform. It's one platform, not a 2-tier platform. They did deny it. I mean, all they said was there were optimization troubles. I don't know if they ever came out and said there's no exclusivity deal. Like, they basically declined comment. They wouldn't comment when IGN reported on it, and when they wouldn't comment when Windows Central reported on it. Approximately 150 Sony developers assisted in the Callisto Protocol production, and that stayed third party. Yeah. They literally said why the Xbox version was delayed. Right, so let's just imagine that the Black Myth Wukong secret exclusivity deal is a true story. It isn't. I have a massive amount of reason to doubt it. I have 2 reliable sources telling me that there was no deal, right? There was no deal. Let's just imagine, for the sake of the discussion, that there was a deal. We're supposed to believe that PlayStation did quid pro quo. we'll help you with the game if you make it exclusive. That's number one. We're supposed to believe that PlayStation did that. The second thing we're supposed to believe is that Game Science agrees to quid pro quo and then lies to the public about why it's coming to Xbox late. So we're supposed to believe two pretty ridiculous things, or we apply Occam's razor. We have it on good authority and on record that PlayStation assisted bringing the game to PlayStation. That's going to expedite development of it coming to PlayStation, and naturally that's going to mean the Xbox version is either going to get deprioritized or delayed. That's a much simpler explanation than quid pro quo from PlayStation, agreement to quid pro quo, and then lying to the public. These three things seem ridiculous and hard to believe. What are we doing? You just apply Occam's razor. What are the least amount of things that could have led to this? What's the most simplest explanation? Not, here's all these intangibles and conspiracy theory, and they would have had to agree to this and that and the third. It's like, what? That no company would agree to this. Secret exclusivity deal with no marketing, and it requires your studio to lie to the public. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. A $10 super chat tip from Street Shadow. Sony has very strategic projects in the works to discover, fund, and help new devs in China, Korea, Africa, and India. They are called the Hero Projects. This likely leads to more exclusive deals for PlayStation. Yo, rockin' hard dudes in chat saying, can we get the 300 likes? He's like, what's the deal, bros? What is the deal? Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yo, what's good, Crow Quill? How are you? Black Myth Wukong would have been delayed on PlayStation if they had exclusivity. Yeah, I think they would have staggered the release. I think PlayStation would have said, we want this to be in better shape if you're going to bring this over here, and we're going to make it an exclusive, and we're going to market it. They helped bring it to PlayStation. PlayStation wouldn't want that to be an exclusive in the way that it launched. It has issues that still haven't been resolved. That's not a... PlayStation benefited from the release of Black Myth Wukong, but Black Myth Wukong's not like a banner title for their console with respect to performance and power. And a 5-bomb from Siege Master trying to poke the member count. He's like, come on, boys, don't slow down now. 238. You guys got to end the day at 300 to stay on pace. 500 by the end of the week, and I got to play a quiet place. That's our incentive this week. We always have a new incentive and a new extra stream that you guys can unlock, and then Madam will have to play a quiet place. Spooky game on Friday night, if you guys can hit that stretch. They run out of OG Xboxes to recycle. Series S looming closer to the bin. Wait, what are you saying? They're running out of the OG Xboxes and Xbox Ones to recycle? What are you talking about? Xbox Money had its Stalker 2. See how dumb it all sounds? Same as with Black Myth. Wait, Hotshot, there is a timed exclusivity deal with Stalker 2. What are you talking about? It doesn't sound dumb. That's real. That happened. Stalker 2 is on a timed exclusivity deal with Xbox. That's 100% a thing. Black Myth Wukong is not on a secret exclusivity deal with PlayStation. And Stalker 2 is not a secret. It's an exclusivity deal. It's timed exclusive, like 3 months, I think. I think Xbox looked at their calendar, and they completely didn't benefit from this at all, really. I mean, they're going to if it's as good as everybody says and it gets a Game of the Year nomination. But they looked at their calendar, and I think they paid for Stalker so that they could pad the calendar. It was supposed to be Hellblade, Stalker, Avowed, Indiana Jones. You were supposed to have four games this year on a cadence, and the Stalker 2 time exclusivity was basically to pad their calendar, and it ended up getting delayed anyway, and then Avowed's next year. So, like, none of that ended up working out. Like, the curse of the Xbox roadmap. It's like everything that lands on those roadmaps ends up getting delayed. Here's all the games coming out in the next year. Half of them don't make it. And then Immortals, 33 Immortals and Towerborn, both were supposed to be this year, day one Game Pass. Now they're next year early access game preview games, and Towerborn's free to play, which means you don't even need Game Pass to play it when it officially launches. Like, the curse of the Xbox roadmap and Xbox marketing. It's like, why were 33 Immortals and Towerborn included in any of your marketing? Like, I just don't get it. It's so bizarre. Replaced, another one. So many smaller, indie, scrappy, cool-looking games that get included in their marketing and their roadmaps, and then they end up getting delayed. I really truly think that Xbox just offers money so they can include something in a roadmap, and they don't give a frick when it comes out. They just want to be able to say these games are coming. It's just to keep people on Game Pass. It's like, and then they all get delayed. It's like 33 Immortals, Towerborn, and Avowed. Like, Stalker 2 is nobody's fault. I'm never going to hold that against those devs. I'm never going to hold that against Xbox. But everything else, like, come on, man. What are we doing here? Stop putting stuff on your roadmaps that you have no business putting on there. At least it keeps Xbox-centric channels boasting about the roadmap. Yeah. The roadmap should be a can getting kicked down the road, because that's all that ever happens. The cadence is a lie. You know how they say at the end of the Portal, the cake is a lie? Yeah. The cadence is a lie. It's a lie. They've never hit the cadence. They haven't done it yet. We're 4 years in, and they haven't hit the cadence yet that they promised. Phil Spencer said in the middle of last year, we're finally to the point that they can hit the cadence that they want to hit. And once again, no. They moved Avowed to help your backlog, and it's 30 FPS, so I'm just going to come out of my chair for that game. And then 33 Immortals and Towerborn both get delayed. And they're not even, you don't even need Game Pass for preview program you do. But Towerborn, when it hits 1.0, is going to be a free-to-play game. I know I'm not the only one who forgot Indiana Jones was releasing this year. Microsoft should fire their marketing department. I feel like I've seen Indiana Jones in a lot of places. I feel like they're marketing it quite a bit. There's speculation about why we're not seeing a lot of Game Pass marketing for Black Ops 6, and it's probably because Microsoft told them not to. They're like, what do you know? Remember when I said after the Xbox showcase, I said that I felt Phil Spencer fought for that? He went to Satya and he was like, you have got to let us put Call of Duty on Game Pass. You have to let us do it. I think part of the deal was a very limited marketing spend on talking about Black Ops 6 coming to Game Pass. I think that was part of the agreement. I think Microsoft said, yeah, we're going to let you do it, but you can't draw attention to it almost ever. You've not seen anything in Europe about Indiana Jones? Here's what's going to be interesting about Indiana Jones. What if they increase the marketing early next year when it's coming to PlayStation because you have to buy it on PlayStation? Like, that's going to be really interesting. Like, PlayStation literally has a lengthy blog and basically running marketing for Black Ops 6. I mean, that to me is interesting, which I'm sure Xbox is fine with that because they're going to make money on the game on PlayStation. Siri with the $5 super chat. Name a time in the last decade when Xbox released anything when they promised. We are supposed to be getting Indiana Jones previews this month, according to, I believe it was Tom Henderson from Insider Gaming. And my hope is that if we get Indiana Jones previews, we get lengthy, uncut new gameplay because we haven't seen lengthy, uncut gameplay of that game. It's all been montages. The only lengthy gameplay we've seen is basically a cutscene when they're on the ship and it's really cold. That's not gameplay. I want to see the punching and the shooting and the sneaking and the using of the whip. I want to see all that uncut. Imagine if they delayed Avowed so they could start work on a PS5 port. That's the word on the street right now, Lone Wolf. And I was trying not to talk about it, you son of a... Yeah. That's probably tomorrow's lead. Word on the street. The word on the street is the whole slate. And that some games, yeah, some games were pushed back to get them ready for port. Which, if Avowed's 30 FPS, you can keep that trash. I don't care. Keep it. Nobody wants it. It's going to be 2025, dude. It's going to be 2025. Nobody wants to play a 30 FPS game. What are we doing? Especially one that looks like Avowed. It doesn't even look that great. It looks good. It looks pretty. It looks like a serviceable game. And there's no reason for it to be 30 FPS. Except for... we all know. No, Indiana Jones has been confirmed at 60. Yeah, Machine Games is good at optimization. Yeah, Indiana Jones has been confirmed to be at 60. You already know I had to expand on it because you brought up one of my most anticipated games. That's right. Wait, what's one of your most anticipated games? Is that Avowed as one of your most anticipated? They won't make Avowed 30 FPS on PlayStation? I would hope not. Xbox makes serviceable indie-looking games. It's their niche. I like what Xbox does with ID at Xbox. I like what they do there. I got to interview the head of that department at E3 2019. I've always liked what they do over there with the indie titles. They need a first quarter release for Game Pass Cadence. That's my take on Avowed. So you think they basically decided this is another year that's a wash, just kick Avowed to next so we have a first quarter game? If Avowed is 30 FPS, there's no if. They've literally said it is. There better be some serious RPG live calculations going on in the background where its complexity breathes life into the game and justifies its frame rate. All right, Lancelot, did you see their lengthy gameplay debut? When was that? Was that Gamescom that we watched that? Homie. No. There is nothing in that game that justifies 30 FPS. Shallow FOV, slow, small set pieces that you're commonly in and fighting in, limited number of enemies. Like, I didn't see a single thing that justified 30 FPS. I was like, what the frick? I was like, I'm not seeing like crazy lighting or ray tracing or high resolution or, I'm not seeing any of that. It just looks like a really slow, contained game. It's like, they don't miss. Well, I don't care if they don't miss. They missed the frame rate target. That's what they missed. Aren't you happy to see your backlog breathe? I bet Avowed will have a 60 option. They never said it wouldn't get a performance mode. Homie, yes, they did. They literally said it's a 30 FPS game in an interview. It's confirmed from the mouth of the developers. Oh, Avowed is one of yours. Oh, sorry. Lone Wolf, I can't keep all your games. I can't keep track of all your games that you want to play. They were flirting? Yeah. That little cute pair of people flirting while they were playing through the game. It was adorable. I really hope that we didn't like put them on blast. You know what I'm saying? Like blow up some scandalous office romance. But they were 100% flirting. A $5 super chat tip from Will Broke Boy Lewis. I think the plan right now is Avowed first quarter, South of Midnight second quarter, Doom third quarter, Fable fourth. Now, whether they keep it. I'm actually looking forward to two of those games, South of Midnight and Doom. I don't have good feelings about Fable, and I hope it blows everybody away, but I don't have good feelings about Fable. South of Midnight looks fun, and id Software, they have my trust and confidence. Doom will be amazing. I heard Fable about, and both of the new Halo Gears games are coming to get ready for PS5. It's tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Avowed, Indie Stalker, and a new Call of Duty. Game Pass is looking great. Much better than T-Lu 2, again, on the PS5 Pro. You know what's great is not caring about who owns the studio and playing amazing games like Oh, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink and Astrobot, and a lot of people enjoyed Black Myth Wukong. I mean, those were all games that you could only play on the PlayStation. So caring about who owns the studio. Imagine caring about who owns the studio. Like, you know, Stellar Blade is one of my it's like my top game this year. It's like right up there with Astrobot. I enjoyed Astrobot more because they're owned by PlayStation. Console war is over, but soldiers are still fighting. Yeah, man, it's like those dudes that were like lost out there in the woods and they thought the war was still going on and they refused to come out of the woods. It's like the war is over, bro. Get out of there. Is Black Ops 6 getting a PS5 Pro update? We're not sure how that's going to be handled. That's one of the big question marks right now. Is more and more games keep coming out and saying they're PS5 Pro enhanced. The only Xbox-owned title to have come out and say that is Diablo 4, but Diablo 4 has been out for a while. So I don't know if, like, the runway to Xbox property releasing, I don't know if they're going to want to say, yeah, that this game is PlayStation 5 Pro enhanced. So like Black Ops 6 may get to announce that like later, like a week or two after it's been out. Doom the Dark Ages, almost assuredly, I mean, I would put money on the table that Doom the Dark Ages will shoot for PS5 Pro enhancements, but they might not talk about it in the run-up in the run-up to the game's release. None of the games were made by PlayStation. Who gives a frick? They were exclusive and they were fun. It didn't affect my enjoyment who made the game. Like, I don't care about that. Caring about that's weird. Caring about that's weird. Like, did Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo suddenly become better games, even though they launched on PlayStation first, and then they were later owned by Xbox? Like, once they were owned by Xbox, were they, like, more fun over there or something? Like, it's just delusional. Like, Stellar Blade launches, great game, awesome game, everybody's loving it, having a good time. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, awesome game, everybody's loving it, having a good time. If suddenly PlayStation bought the developer, would that, like, change the quality of the game? Would that change the enjoyment of the game? No, it's nonsense. It's silly scorekeeping by weird Twitter warriors that have nothing else to do. Like, games' value don't change dependent upon who owns the studio. And then there's weird amalgamations where, like, PlayStation owns Helldivers IP, but they don't own Arrowhead. So what difference does it make? You couldn't play it on Xbox. Like, what difference does it make? You had to have a PlayStation or PC. Helldivers is live service, so it is different. But if you wanted to play Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Astrobot, any of those games, you had to have a PlayStation to play them. Game Pass is a great product, one of the best things going right now. Well, I hope Microsoft gives you a kickback for being a walking commercial for dollar menu gaming. Nobody cares if you enjoy Game Pass. Like, we're having a conversation and you're a walking commercial for Game Pass. Like, okay, cool. Like, you're swimming in games. Why aren't you playing them right now? Like, what are you doing that you're in here needing to promote Game Pass? And then being like, well, Sony didn't make those games. Really? Did Xbox make Redfall, Starfield, and Hi-Fi Rush? Games that were in production and coming to market prior to acquisition? Like, come on. Grand Blue is PC too. Oh, it's Grand Blue PC PlayStation? There you go. Fine. Still, the point stands. If you're going to celebrate Game Pass, I could say every single time, oh yeah, but PC Game Pass, but PC Game Pass, but PC Game Pass. Right? It's the same thing. It's like, okay, if you're discussing value and you're acting like, well, yeah, and this is what sparked it. He said, Game Pass is so much better than The Last of Us Part 2 again. And it's like, oh, okay, so you're not going to count the 7 to 8 console exclusives. I think if you take out the ones that also hit PC, it's like 5. 5 exclusives this year for PlayStation. 5. How many do you have right now? How many? If you're comparing. Again, if you're a consumer and you're comparing what you received, like the false equivalency of like, well, I'm going to compare Game Pass to first-party releases on PlayStation. And it's like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. You're comparing Game Pass to how many first-party games launched on PlayStation? Why don't you do an actual comparison? How many first-party games have launched on Xbox this year? How many? How many? How many exclusives have you gotten this year? Do that. Do the honest assessment and accurate comparison. Laker Chaffee with the Member Plus, and that counts as 2. If you sign up for Member Plus, it counts as 2. That takes us to 240. We're a 10 bomb away from 250. Also, remember, we now need 4 people to upgrade. That's the first. Every 5 Member Pluses or VIPs, I'll drop a 20 bomb. So if 4 of you decide to upgrade, let me know. I'll check the back end, and then I'll drop 20 members on chat. Call of Duty, which will be one of the best sellers this year, apparently is a dollar menu game. No, I didn't say that the games are dollar menu games. I said dollar menu gaming, as in you're celebrating a subscription service so you don't have to buy games, and you're comparing that to first-party cadence. I'm not a walking infomercial for Xbox. I've explained my grievances with the platform. Really? Then why are you comparing Game Pass to first-party release cadence from PlayStation? Why is that, to you, why is that an intellectual comparison point? It doesn't make any sense. That would be like me invoking PS Plus and being like, and all you got was Hellblade. Like, that's disingenuous. That's stupid. You're like, PS Plus has had PC PS Plus, and all you've gotten was Hellblade. That's not an equivalency. That's not a comparison. What about Halo? There was a Halo rumor, if you guys didn't see it. Joseph Staten left Microsoft and went to Netflix. The Netflix studio that Joseph Staten ended up at is closed. In the wake of it being closed, people noticed that a new creative director position at Halo Studios disappeared, and people thought maybe it was Joseph Staten. It looks like right now it's not him, but it still could be. You misread my comment. It was more directed at the Pro. Oh, so it's even more disingenuous. Avowed, Indie, Stalker, and New COD, which Avowed's not coming this year, so you've got inaccuracies in your thing. Game Pass is looking great, much better than TLU 2 again on the PS5 Pro. So you're right. You're right. Enjoy those games and enjoy Game Pass. They're so much better than the presumed future that Xbox will have all these games come out on Game Pass and PlayStation will no longer be releasing any first party games. No more first party studio announcements. The future is statically stuck in right now. You're correct. You're right. Comparing Game Pass to the PS5 Pro, just dizzying. Just dizzying. I tell you what. You know what sounds better to me? Do you know what sounds better to me? Playing Stalker, the new Call of Duty, and Indiana Jones on the PS5 Pro at better performance. I mean, if you really want to compare, bro, if you really want to compare, the games you listed are going to run better on the Pro. I mean, you brought it up. You brought it up, bro. You brought up those games in Game Pass and the PS5 Pro, and I mean, I'm just gonna, you know, when the tech analysis comes out, you know, they're all gonna run better on the Pro. I have a PC, so the argument doesn't work. Oh, he's like a greased pig, Chad. I can't get him. Yeah, but do they run better on your PC? That's always the question we have to ask, you know? But do they run better on your PC? Can we see a hardware benchmark report when those games come out for you? Oh, frick. That's my favorite. Yeah, but does it run better on your PC? What is this? What date is it? My son was trying to get this costume from Amazon, and they're like, "Are you still interested in this? If you want it, you have to say you're still interested. We'll update you with the shipping response." Like, what the frick? It's a Halloween costume. What, are you going to send it in December? You know? Yeah, it's a Fortnite costume that he wanted. And I don't know. I don't know. I guess he's going to dress up in December when it finally shows up. I'll send you my rig on Twitter. I'll help you. I'll help you. I don't know if you can tell or not. I don't care. I don't care, bro. I truly don't. Like, you're trying to win a fight that you can't win. You're trying to win a fight that you can't win because I don't care. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care what you do. Right? You guys remember what I said? Well, I could do this and spend this much money and play that game here and get this graphical performance. Then do it and shut up about it. No one cares. Then do it. Go ahead, dude. Have a ball. You know? Take out a second mortgage on your house and buy 18 of the best computers in the world so that you can play every game that ever comes out simultaneously at the max graphics, one with your toe, one with your other toe, one with your pinky, one with your other pinky, and one with your nose, just so you can do it all at the same time. I don't care. Do it. Nobody cares. When all arguments fail, yeah, it's how I play on PC. Tech analysis on my PC for Stalker, Avowed, and even Spider-Man is going to be awesome. I hope that you have so much fun that you cry. I hope you're shedding tears at the reflections in the glass in Spider-Man. You're just like, oh, it's so beautiful. I hope you get ushered into the upper echelons of mirth and joy and gamer enjoyment. I don't care where you play, and I don't care how you spend your money. You made a comparison that didn't make any sense. You made a comparison that didn't make any sense. Look, this is on Game Pass. It's going to be so much better than the PS5 Pro. And it's like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. They're not comparable. Stellar Blade just got an HFR update to 120. That's part of the PS5 Pro update as well. We covered that in the show open. There's going to be a Pro and a Pro Max mode as well. There's going to be two new performance modes for Stellar Blade. on the PS5 Pro. Tears of joy mean nothing to a man who cries himself to sleep. Don't be mean. I'm being ornery with him. I'm not being unkind. Dude's playing Ski Free on Windows 95. He doesn't have a gaming PC. Dude, do you remember that game? The freaking snowman would always get you. He'd always get you and eat you. It was the worst. I'm convinced some of those games, like, they literally, like, the win percentages were so low because it was the only way you would keep playing. What setting will you play at? I'll have to experiment, Kratos. I believe I would do the max. I think that was the one that sounded like the one that I would pick. Game Pass doesn't add to the fun factor. I mean, Stalker 2 sounds like it's going to be amazing. I think Black Ops 6 I think the campaign's going to be awesome. Indiana Jones is a question mark, and I think Avowed looks just rough. So, yeah, I mean, who really cares if you got them on Game Pass? You know? I mean, I suppose you could say that you're taking less risk by having Game Pass. So if the games turn out to be subpar, not that great, you know, you're still ahead. I'm crying at how many people are offended me playing on PC. Homie, no one's crying. You're delusional. We're making fun of you. Like, we're making fun of you, bro. No one's offended at all. Yeah, you've upset nobody. We've been taking the piss with you. We're making fun of you. No, nobody's upset. Your logic was bewildering. Your argumentation made no sense. And then you just retreated to the fact that you were going to play on PC. No one was like, I can't believe it. No one's offended at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, brother. Pattern recognition? Wait, what are they trying to claim about Black Cat? They didn't change her in Spider-Man 2. They made Black Cat hotter in Spider-Man 2. We compared their suits. They literally got a bad screenshot of Black Cat. It's not even I guess it's a bad screenshot. I don't know. Hey guys, look. Look. It's the I've never touched a women starter pack. I've never touched a woman starter pack right here. This makes me so angry. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's super hot in Spider-Man 2. Her outfit is arguably like more form-fitting and revealing. It's so stupid. It's so brain dead, dude. And since when is like the last I checked, I thought guys liked girls. I don't even want to get into it. Never mind. Never mind. There, back it up, Terry. Back it up, Terry. Back it up. We're not going there. I don't even care. Let them be angry. Let them be angry. I'm going to play every single one of those games, and I'm going to love it. Yo, X-Cow with a gifted member. Hey, it's Doc Dark coming back around these parts. How are you? How are you, Doc? How's the computer doing? Is it got good airflow? I'm getting 2 pros, Dark, and I'm going to put them back to back, and I'm going to run one to just help with the airflow, you know, because I saw your video. I know that can be an issue with PCs, so I'm going to put my pros back to back. That's not why I bought 2, but I did buy 2. I did, just in case you didn't. I've got an extra one. This man. Oh man. Send me a new power supply. Listen, Doc, listen to me now. You know I love you. Like real life love. Like brother love. You're in the world that I know I don't like to be in, and you're learning why. Because you're probably more patient man than me. Like your demeanor. Well, maybe not. I don't know. You might have a short fuse. I have a really short fuse with tech. And so when that kind of stuff starts happening, dude, I just hit the roof. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to touch anything, take anything out, troubleshoot anything. Like, as soon as I started seeing some of your videos, I was like, yep, I've been there, and I hate it. I hate it. Something's crashing, something's not working, something's not running properly. Oh, I get livid immediately. Technology and me are in a very, very, short fuse relationship. $700 is a nice upgrade. Considering what I'd have to do to my PC, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Didn't used to game on PC heavy. I did. In 2017 and 2018, I pivoted to PC because I wanted 60 frames per second, and I primarily played Destiny and Fortnite at the time, and you couldn't get 60 FPS on the... I primarily was on the Xbox One X, and then I shifted to PC. I was Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 with the Destiny community. I had, characters on both, and the minute I knew I could get 60 FPS, I switched to PC. So when, Series X and PlayStation 5 marketing started hitting, I got really excited because I was like, I can go back home to console. I wanted to go back home to console. I was like, I don't like PC gaming. I don't. I cut my teeth PC gaming. I went from all the Nintendo consoles. I was building my own PCs in high school and college, and then I came back home to console with the Xbox 360. And from the 360 all the way to the Xbox One, I built this huge library, and then the minute I could get 60 FPS, I jumped to PC. My loyalty's never been to a platform. It's always been to quality and performance. If I can get better quality and performance, that's where I'm going to go. And I know people be like, well, why wouldn't you just buy the strongest PC ever? It's because I actually don't like playing on a PC. I prefer console. I have preferred console for pretty much my entire gaming life. I made a live stream yesterday about these consoles. I think we are not appreciating what these consoles are actually doing. As somebody, you and I are one and the same on frames per second, Doc. Like, we want 60, right? Because that was something that that's kind of how we met. Because you did something. You did a video about don't have the testicular fortitude to launch Starfield at 30 FPS, and we became friends in that moment. I was like, I like this guy. That was a long time ago. And I agree with you. What we're seeing in these performance reports for the Pro, I'm like, that's everything that I want. 4K, a little bit of ray tracing, sometimes more, and 60, I am happy. I don't need anything more than that. I don't need to go above 4K. I don't need to go above 60. Dude, you give me 4K with some of the fidelity and ray tracing, from some of the fidelity ray tracing modes, and you maintain 60, I'm good, dude. I can do that for a long time and be completely content and be very happy, It's what made me literally pivot from console to PC, and it's what made me pivot right back to console. Reforge should pay attention to Doc's channel and learn from him. About what exactly? When you don't have to pay for every single housing and casing in each individual part, you can do so much more for the money. I mean, we've got a pretty big member goal on the channel where I do want to buy a really nice gaming rig, and I'm going to put it together on PC. We got a long ways to go. That's the 1,000 member plus and above goal, and we're still not hitting 600. We got to get people, we got to get more people to upgrade. We need 35 people to upgrade to member plus and above, and we'll be at 600. We'll celebrate. It'll be a whole new thing. it's a whole new milestone, I mean. I think the Pro is going to shake a lot of things up. Yeah, I mean, Doc, I said in the middle of last year, all right, that I thought the PS5 Pro was going to be industry disruptive. And it was 100% based on when we heard the leaks that it was going to accelerate ray tracing. I said that right there. I said that's going to be disruptive because that's what developers want. And look at all the praise we're seeing from developers. They're all coming out. The Liza P developers are praising the PS5 Pro. The Hello Games guy is praising the PS5 Pro. Dragon Age Inquisition guys are praising the PS5 Pro. These are third-party developers that are like, this thing's dope. This is great. I'm telling you, that magnetism will cause disruption because there already is disruption, right? We know that the Series S is driving people away. I called it Inquisition. Dadgummit. Dragon Age Veilguard. Anyway. We know there's already a push. Like magnets work both ways, right? The Series S has already pushed developers away. We know that it has. And then the Pro is going to be over here as the other magnet, the other pole of the magnet, just pulling devs over. You can do more ray tracing. You can take off, some of the weight of the game by doing more upscaling with PSSR. It's already causing disruption, and no one even has one in their house yet. Like, no one even has a Pro in their house. It's how many days away? Like 2 weeks, and it's already causing disruption. It's like how many games now? 73, 75, something like that, every day. Days Lono doesn't call Veilguard Inquisition 0. Reset the count. Space King said, I have a PC, PS5, and a Switch, and I love them all. PC is great, but it's kind of like the redheaded stepchild. I still love it, but it gives me more problems than the other two. Right, Spice King? Yeah, we're 2 weeks away. Doc says, I'm just tired of Digital Foundry only showing old games on it. If they announce GTA 6 running at 60, I'll buy the thing. I just won't talk about it. Well, here's the thing, Doc. This is what's going on right now. So right now, the PS5 Pro, the whole purpose of it is to get it out into the market, get devs familiar with it, and then the new games will come. It has to happen in the right order. It would be really confusing right now for Digital Foundry or these studios or who are these tech outlets to have their hands on a new game. It would be weird. It's like PlayStation likes to handle their own marketing. So they're going to want to announce, like, take, for example, Ghost of Yotei. They announced Ghost of Yotei, but they don't want the runway to Ghost of Yotei to be like Digital Foundry out here comparing Yotei to the base PS5. Does that make sense? There's way more people who own base PS5. So PlayStation has to navigate this rather carefully because if they suddenly have, Digital Foundry and mainline outlets saying, oh man, Ghost of Yotei is like X number % better on the Pro, you just told your largest audience that, like, yeah, it's not as good over there. The Pro demonstrates a unique tension for the brand. They want to focus on it. They want to focus on the enhancements, and they want the people to buy it to feel good about their purchase, but they don't want the overwhelming majority of PlayStation owners to be like, well, here comes Ghost of Yotei, and I might as well not buy it. It's for the Pro. You see, you muddy your marketing if Yotei gets announced and you're also seeing breakdowns of Pro enhancements. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, wait, is Ghost of Yotei a PS5 Pro game? And you don't want your consumers to ever be confused. So it makes perfectly good sense from a marketing standpoint to say these are the games you can do comparisons on right now. Also, it's more compelling when I see comparisons of games that I've played. I've played Horizon and Spider-Man and The Last of Us Part 2. So if I've played the game, the comparison hits me a lot harder. It's like, yo, I've played that game and I didn't get to turn on all that cool stuff. I didn't get to turn on fidelity or ray tracing. So the comparison, like the first thing they showed when they showed The Last of Us running at 60 and fidelity It was extremely powerful to me, I'm the target consumer, because I just got done playing it. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, that looks incredible. That looks better than what I played. So like at multiple levels, it just makes perfectly good sense to only be showing old games right now. And I know people are mad about that. They're like, well, where are the new games? Where are the new games? Honestly, you're going to have to let the marketing cadence hit first before you start getting these awesome comparison videos. Yeah, like what Eugene's saying. Yeah, you need a frame of reference to compare. If there was a comparison video right now with Ghost of Yotei, I'd be like, oh, I see the difference, but it wouldn't be as powerful because it's like, I haven't played it. Now, Dragon's Dogma 2, those comparisons are compelling, and I've never played that, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's a big jump in FPS. That makes sense, but to me, the Digital Foundry videos hurt it more than help it, and in fact, it makes the base PS5 look like a beast. I think it's a matter of perspective, Doc. I think it's a matter of perspective because if you think about it, I've seen a lot of people respond to the Digital Foundry videos, and I've seen them literally say, oh, I'm getting one now. I'm not kidding you, Doc. It's a matter of perspective. There are some people who agree with you, and they're like, I'm happy with my PS5. The differences aren't strong enough. I've seen other people. I saw at least 3 people when they saw the Dragon's Dogma 2 comparisons. They're like, I'm getting one now. That changed my mind because it's just a gigantic difference. It's like the most troublesome area in Dragon's Dogma when you go to town is in like the 40s, 40 frames per second. They pushed out an update that helped. And on the Pro, it's in the 50s. That jump means VRR will protect you. It'll gloss over it. So I actually think it's just a matter of perspective. There have been people compelled by the Digital Foundry's videos to buy, and there have been people that are going to wait. And I think you're right, Doc. GTA 6, that's the damn wall. If GTA 6 can launch and be markedly better on the Pro, that will change demand for the Pro like that. Instantly, overnight, the demand will change. And given what we're seeing in Dragon's Dogma 2, a CPU bottlenecked game, that was the big thing Richard Ledbetter hit on with Grand Theft Auto games, is they're usually CPU bottlenecked. Dragon's Dogma 2 is CPU bottlenecked, and the Pro really elevated the frames per second. It's 60 everywhere else. When you're in town, the most troublesome area, it's like mid-50s. It's 60 everywhere else. So it's like, if GTA 6 can come to the market and they're like, yeah, it'll be 60 on the Pro, the damn wall will break open. And the demand for that thing will skyrocket because people will say, well, that's the best place to play GTA 6. Tell your boy to stop with the BS saying a $700 PC. Oh, he's talking to Doc. The smartest thing about the Pro is not selling the disk drive. Sony is making people choose. Either go digital or pay more. Yeah, I wonder if these companies have a vested interest in getting people to go digital. I think they do. It's just more streamlined distribution of a game. There are pockets, though. The problem with that is there are pockets that just refuse to stop buying physical. There are pockets and markets that just still love to buy physical. Guys, do me a quick favor. Double check your like. Have you given the video a like? Have you given it a thumbs up? Let's try to hit 400 likes. And let's try to get the member count to 300 before the day's up so you guys stay on pace for Friday. It's spooky season, October. I'll play A Quiet Place on Friday if we hit the goal. You can even make my wife play on Friday night. So, double check if you've got a renewal to celebrate it because that counts over here if it's a member plus or a VIP. Digital Foundry convinced me to get it with the comparison. GTA 6 will convince more if it's better. I'll stop buying games if physical dies out. Well, get ready. How long has PC been mostly digital? Like, it's really hard to get physical releases on PC now. It's like, what percentage of PC games even release physical? Like, it's really low, isn't it? My bad, hadn't liked. I like now. YouTube's been really weird. I'll be watching your videos, Doc, and I immediately hit the like button, and then I'll check back, and it's like unliked. And I'm like, what? And I'll have to like redo it. Yo, it's good, Citizen JV. Doc did call out the $700 PC grifters, though. Did he? I applaud anybody who called them out about that. Studio Thunder Horse. They're closing Studio Thunder Horse. What games are they known for? Why do I know this name? Indie game, we made Flynn, Son of Crimson. I don't know. I don't think I know this studio. It seems familiar, but I don't think that it is. I don't think I've played any of their games. Flynn, Son of Crimson? Oh, no. I remember Flynn, Son of Crimson. I remember watching trailers for this because I was looking for like a 2D Metroidvania. I remember this. Like he's got the red sword and he can like mount like the wolf creature. I haven't bought a physical copy in like 10 years. Yeah, the PC platform's just fine being almost entirely digital. I see the chat agrees with me on the $700 PC BS. You ain't building a PC to compete unless you're willing to compromise a lot like used parts. Even then, Doc, first-party PlayStation games, we know they're going to run better on the Pro. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, they're built for it first. So it's a losing battle at that point. You're just fighting a losing battle. In the context of trying to save money or trying to build a rig close to $700, it's a losing battle. It's like, if you're going to try to beat the Pro, then beat the Pro. Spend $2,000 and be done with it. Like, just do it. Go up a notch on everything and build a nice PC. Like, I don't, like, the obsession with, like, trying to undercut the Pro on price, it's like, nobody in their right mind would do that because you know you're not going to be getting consistent and reliable performance in these games. You're just not. That's why I kept saying, Doc, listen, keep telling these guys that made videos that, yelled at me or called me names or claimed it could be done, tell them to put their money where their mouth is. Build the rig for $700 and then let's see benchmarks of Horizon Forbidden West and Ratchet and Clank. Let's see how they run. Let's see your benchmarks. Let's see it. And then we'll see the benchmarks of those games on the Pro. And you're going to look like an idiot. I mean, they already do, but then we'll have concrete evidence of the fact. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. But the PS5 Pro won't do Excel sheets. Yeah, I can't send email. According to new data from Circana, Xbox Series X is finally outselling the Series S in the US. Yeah, by like, what, 1% or whatever? 51% to, well, that'd be 2%. 51% to 49%. Spend big or get a mediocre PC. That's how it works. What I'm saying. I got a head loan, but stay safe. God bless you and the fam. Stay away from the haters. Get the sub counts up, my dude. Yes, Doc. Thank you, brother. And again, I appreciate you taking up for me. You and P-Rock and a lot of those guys. Every once in a while, you guys decide to step into the ring because I don't. Everybody's always been bewildered by why I get so much hate. Me first of all, but I appreciate people taking up for me on Twitter. It was very kind. Nice to have friends, in an environment where a lot of folks are not kind. The day before, Fantastic has canceled its failing Kickstarter for one game and announced another in the same breath. Those guys are a walking meme. They're a walking meme, dude. What the frick are they doing? What are they doing? Why? Why do they keep trying? At this point, they would be better off closing down, disappearing, come back later with a different name. Like, your name is literally sullied, and you are now a pariah. You're a pariah. They can't do anything. No one's ever going to buy or back anything you're doing. Y'all remember PC physical releases with those big boxes? I think I still have the Diablo 2, what was it called? Lord of Destruction? Like the collector's edition? It was big. This is what they posted in their Discord. All right, here we go. What's Fantastic saying now? Dear community, we have received many requests for a prop hunt game, and after careful analysis and discussion with the team, we've decided that our Escape Factory project has not generated enough interest. Our campaign on Kickstarter is unlikely to reach the goal of 20,000, whatever SGD is. With this in mind, we have decided to temporarily suspend work on Escape Factory and postpone it until more appropriate time. As part of our decision, our Kickstarter campaign has been canceled and no funds have been collected. However, your wishes are very important to us, and we are happy to announce the start of development of our new action horror prop hunt game called Items. This is exactly what many of you have been waiting for. Once we have a fully playable demo, we may launch a new Kickstarter campaign or explore other options for release. It's important for us and our players to get the chance to play and test the game in advance. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Just put it in early access in Steam and shut the frick up. Just be quiet and bring it to the market and let people buy it and play it. Actually, put a demo out first. If this is real, if you're actually going to build a game, then let people play it in a demo. And you want to launch it in early access, that's fine. Don't launch some stupid Kickstarter. Get out of here. If you have a fully playable demo, then put the fully playable demo in Steam and iterate on it and set a date or set a launch year and do early access. You don't need to do a Kickstarter. Check out the new Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver's Remastered boss reveal trailer. I think it'll pique your interest a lot more. No. It won't. The hate you be getting on Twitter always have me wondering, who do they be talking about? I don't know who. Who they think I am, bro. You know what I mean? It's like I'm some figment of their imagination. It's like they need a boogeyman to hate. They need a boogeyman to hate, bro. Armageddon was fun, racing and killing people. I don't remember that one. It's no longer cartoony anymore. I'll try to explain it. I always get misrepresented on this, right? Doesn't like old games, not a real gamer. Sure, Jan. I have moved into this era of gaming, and I have this era of gaming's expectations. And when I go back and I play old games, no matter how well they've been remastered, like GoldenEye, it's a trip down memory lane that lasts about 30 minutes, and then I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to go back and play 10 and 20-year-old games. That's my preference, right? If that hurts your fifis, and you need attention from dad, I guess clip me and make fun of me, and hopefully daddy makes you feel good. I don't want to go back and play old games. And doing a remaster of a really old game, it's still, underneath the prettier graphics, a really old game. I'm sorry. That's just where I am. That's where my preferences are. Some people don't like to eat leftovers. It's just, I love leftovers. My brother hates them. My younger brother will literally not eat leftovers. I love leftovers. Heat up some pizza in the air fryer, heat up some lo mein in the microwave and pour that soy over it. I'm good. But when it comes to going back to old games, I'm just like that. I say the same thing, Louis Love. You want to go back to a 10-year-old game or a 20-year-old game and remake it? I'm there. Can you imagine? I think this is a project, is it not? Aren't they doing this with GoldenEye? A GoldenEye in modern graphics settings, gameplay. Since the development of items will require significant resources, we have decided to release mobile games in parallel to support the process. All funds generated from these apps will go directly into development. We believe this will help us create the game of our dreams. I don't care. That's fine. Green Monster with the Member Plus gets us to 242. Guys, we're 8 away from 250, and I'll owe you 5 more. I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes. I'm going to schedule Writer's Room. If you guys want to scramble to 200, you're going to have to hustle. But if you get to 250, You'll be halfway to 500, and I'll owe you 5. It looks like what we think the game looked like more than what the game actually looked like, if that makes sense. It's sort of modern. I never cared for Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, it's like when people get mad when you're like, nobody wants Banjo-Kazooie. It's like, because nobody wants Banjo-Kazooie. Like, the number of people that actually want it, they're not big enough to justify doing it. I love a modern GoldenEye. Rose tinted glasses. That's what I'm saying, B-Nipple. Like I literally played GoldenEye on Xbox, and after about 20 minutes, I was like, cool. And that was all I needed. That was it. I was good. I was like, cool. Trip down memory lane, hearing the music. Bennett. You know, I was good. It was like dropping out of the vent into the stall in the bathroom and moving my way through the hallways and, you know, when you get shot. Rockin' Robin with the 10 bomb says, we can get there. You guys are going to want to end the day at 300 if you want to be on pace. And Rockin' Robin gives you a chance with a very generous 10 gifted member bomb, which means I owe you 5. And here they come. And let me set up redirect. You guys have 15 minutes for a scramble. If you scramble it to 300, you'll be on pace, and we'll bring a bunch of more people with us to the writer's room. This is one of the best times to do a member scramble because it's mostly the very, very loyal viewers, and it increases their likelihood of getting them. Also, 23 more likes, and we'll have 400 likes. Thank you, everybody who's already pressed the like button. I disagree on Banjo. Spyro Reignited and Crash Insane pretty much sold well. I mean, Aaron Greenberg didn't deny that he said it. He just said that it was sarcasm lost in translation. He agreed with a guy who said that it was sarcasm lost in translation. Here's the thing. I didn't hit the button. I'm going to try again. Here's the thing. It wasn't sarcasm. I don't think it was sarcasm. Space Money with the 10 bomb. Wait. Space Money, you're not even a member, and you're gifting members? What? Why on earth would you do that? Thank you for the 10 bomb. That's so generous. Jiminy Christmas. I don't think I've ever seen a non-member gift. What on earth? That's insane. You're gifting members. You don't have a member? I didn't check out Fear Spotlight. No, DJB. I didn't get a chance to. Thank you again, Space Money. We're not at 262. Don't try to understand Space Money things. I guess not. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I thought YouTube glitched out. I was like, he doesn't have a badge. I was like, huh? He is Messiah. All of a sudden he drops a 50 bomb. It's like, I am the member Messiah. I'm here to bless the many. Big up to the non-members. That's what I'm saying. Ubisoft seems to be remaking Rayman. Yes, the Prince of Persia team has not been laid off. It seems they're being disbanded and reassigned, is what it seems to be going on. Yeah. And one of the things is a Rayman remake, which is interesting. Are they remaking That's the Power of Space Money? Who are you? What about Ocarina of Time? You wouldn't play it? Listen to me now. Listen to me. If you want to do it, remake it. Remake it. They don't need to. You have Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. There's not really a reason to do that. I mean, I don't think Nintendo would do it. I don't think they do. I don't think they go back and do stuff like that. But a remaster? You know? A remaster? Like, why? What, remake it. It's going to feel old. Something going on with YouTube. I haven't got a gift for like a week now. I triple checked accept a gift for everything. Sleepy Ash, have you gotten gifteds before? I really do think that if you've received gifteds before, you've never... No, you have. You had a gifted back when we did Silent Hill 2 reviews. And so I don't know how long ago that was. You had a membership back then. And then the PS5 Pro 30 FPS discussion. I don't know how far back that was, but you had a badge. I really do think that they've limited it now. Like, if you've gotten a gifted before, I think they kick you out of the running for a longer period of time because they want you to pick up your own membership. The point of gifting memberships is not so you can get one for 12 months in a row like some people were doing. It's so you get to, like, kind of sample, and then if you like it, you get to jump back in. Now, if they give us individual gifting, we'll take care of the people that can't afford it. There are people that just can't, and it's like, we want to take care of them. But I also think, like, it's really, really hard for me to ask somebody to pick up their own membership when they quite literally don't have to. It's like, hey, man, pick up your own membership. It supports me. And they're like, yeah, I've gotten a membership 10 months in a row. Why would I do that? That's $6, $5 I could spend on a microtransaction or a Starbucks. You know what I mean? I would love it. I would love it if more people caught that vision and thought, hey, this is worth supporting. We get a lot of extra content, and grab those member pluses at $6, but it's like a super slow moving rudder, and maybe YouTube's just trying to help by saying, giving somebody a gifted membership 12 months in a row is counterproductive. It should be going to new people, so new people get a flavor and a taste of the extra content. If you upgrade those memberships for $1, the reward for 1,000 is a glorious rage-quitting possibility from building a PC. He hates tech troubleshooting. Yeah, you guys should be beating down the door on the upgrades. You're going to get to watch me do that. I had to read that twice. Feed on Land? What did Feed on Land say? I'm looking. I don't see it. What are you guys debating? I tried to upgrade, but it doesn't give me the option to do so. Tried yesterday when we went to the green room, but it wouldn't let me upgrade. That's so frustrating. We've had so many people trying that can't. I wonder how many people in a day are trying and they can't. Are you on a gifted and you're trying to get off of gifted? Amskin? Because we've had other people report this problem. We will get there, and I'm going to take a week off to prepare myself for all the crap I'm going to talk. Yeah, you can pay for better audio in Call of Duty. That's a weird one. I really wonder what's their end goal there. Like, number one, do they think it's going to be that in demand? And number two, isn't that going to be considered... What exactly are you paying for? Like, are you going to get better sound? Will it be like pay to win so you can do like really, really effective sound whoring? Like, I don't know. You've been on a gifted for 3 months. So you've been on gifted and you can't get off of gifted. Doesn't make any sense at all. That should be the easiest thing to do. It should literally give you the option when you go to the member page. Hey, you're on a gifted. Would you like to pick up your own membership? Like, that should just be something that YouTube is doing. I don't get why they're making this so difficult. Same, it won't let me upgrade. It's like the single greatest pain point that we have, and you guys are trying and can't. It's so hard to get your comment visible. What are you trying to say? Effective. You're just you're literally writing things that look like spam. Reforge, did you finish Black Myth Wukong and you spam eyeballs? Dollar menu games. Game Pass equal to dollar menu mid games, spamming eyeballs. Defending Game Pass, spamming emotes. I want to play Metal Gear Solid Delta, spamming emotes. Metal Gear Solid on the Pro, spamming emotes. Homie, you're muting yourself in the chat because you're spamming emotes like a bot. I like my eyes just gloss over when somebody says something and then they spam 18 blue hearts. Like, you're making it hard to read your own comments. You're your own worst enemy. just type Lono or type at Reforge Gaming, and you'll probably get my attention more regularly than, hey, Lono, I'm going to ask you a question, and then there's like 18 blue hearts after what you say. I would like to finish Black Myth Wukong. I'm hoping that it can get a performance boost on the PlayStation 5 Pro to answer one of your actual questions. I had the prompt for the green room, but I clicked onto it and it was a blank page. Mini Christmas. Did you try a different browser? What did you try to do this on, Amskin? You guys are a-holes. That's literally what he was doing. That was the kind of comments he was making. I was like, I'm not going to read that. I just see a bunch of emotes and think somebody's excited. And my eyes just go right past it. Wheezy tried and it didn't work. Hello, Lono Bag. Hello, Lono Bag. Hello, Lono Bag. Lono, you've used Astro headphones in the past. Remember the software that would let you set the option for different sound mix? That's all that pay-to-win sound thing is. It's software. You can do the same thing with the voice meter. Oh, okay. What am I looking at here? Monthly hardware for September. PlayStation 5 is 2-1 in, what is that? North America. And then the EU, it's golly. Japan, good lord. Holy mackerel. I wish the streamer would notice me. Hey, listen to me now. Let's get 5 more likes, you ornery sons of guns. And we're super close to another one here. Hit 275. You're going to sit here and spam emotes. Give emotes to more people. You guys, yeah, clip that. E-Beggar berating his audience for money. Pay me. Look. This is what I was looking at. So this is North America. So it's 306 to, what's this? So that's 2-1. And this is 456 to 85. Oh gosh. And then we get to Japan's 53,000. Good lord. It's like 8 to 2.5 ratio. It's like an 8 to 2 ratio. Oh my golly. If you want streamers to pay attention to you, you must show your feet. No, you guys know the rules. If you want me to pay attention to you, you have to pay money. He won't read your comments unless you pay money. Does anyone know if Call of Duty Black Ops 6 physical copies can be played now? No, they can't be played now. Because the servers aren't on. Aiden Ross learned that the hard way. He paid like $5,000 to get it early from some guy on eBay or whatever, and then he can't play it because the servers aren't on. That guy's probably like counting the money, being like, "Yeah, sucker." Should have charged him 10. He would have paid it. So no, you can't play Black Ops 6 early. Sorry. If someone breaks Street Date and gives it to you on the low, I mean, cool. You can take a picture and put it on Twitter. That's about all you're gonna be able to do. I've collected all 7 Dragon Balls. Lono must notice my comments. Quick. You guys have 2 minutes. Everybody check and see if you have a member renewal to celebrate. We're 13 away from another milestone where I'd have to pay 5. Everybody double check quick and see if you can't bump this. If you're already paying for the renewal, double check. See if you can. Amskin might have answered me on how he was, or how they were trying to upgrade. Hang on. the YouTube app. Okay, Amskin, do me a favor. Don't do it through the YouTube app. Go to your browser, go incognito, log in, request the desktop site, and see if you can upgrade. I know that's a bunch of steps, but that's how some people have had to do it. They have to go to the browser on their phone, go incognito, log in, request a desktop site. See, there we go. Lord Finesse, VIP renewal, $263. Come on, boys. You're already paying for them. Get credit for them. You thought it was stupid as well to release Dragon Age Veilguard a week before the PS5 Pro? Yeah, Xbox said TV. Lono says money, more money, more money. That's right. We need your money. What was that, Little Rascals? People, we need your money. The 4-foot man eating chicken. And it was literally just a 4-foot kid eating chicken with a mustache on. I'm waiting to get Dragon Age due to the rumors over the years. Yeah, one of the previews said like that it was good, but like super linear, and the combat was like good, but like, yeah, we'll see. I'm iffy on it. What are you doing? Why would you do that? I'm gonna ban you, Fuzzy. I thought you preferred more linear games. Why is that a negative? Oh, it's not a negative for me. It's going to be a negative for others, I think. I think there will be people that don't like it. An Arrow Odd with a month at Member Plus. Did you just upgrade, Arrow Odd? Like ratio to view count? Yeah. You guys have been crushing it lately. I'm going to double check and see if Arrow Odd is a brand new upgrade, because that counts as 2, and then we'd be a 10 bomb away. Let me see on the back end here. Can't see it. Let me refresh. Arrow Odd, when did you do that? Because it's only a month in. Have you been on it since? Is that your second month, or did you just upgrade? YouTube's back end isn't showing it to me. I can't see you as a member plus. It's a member plus. I'll take your word for it. He paid 5 G's for a locked disc. Yeah, he did. Yeah, because, I mean, everything goes through the Call of Duty headquarters. Like, everything. Even you trying to play the campaign. So it's not like you can, like, boot it up and just go in and play the campaign and get a bunch of early footage. And a 10 bomb from Siriu. You didn't upgrade? Thank you for your honesty. So that would take us to 64 and the 10 bomb to 74. There it is. We're 1 away from 75. I'll owe you guys 5 more. I appreciate your honesty. You totally could have lied and I'd have given you credit for 2. You know? And a VIP secures it. Thank you so much. Victor Mayhem. I owe you guys 5. Those VIP renewals. What's my man Victor saying? Victor says, work has been taking up a lot of time recently, so I've been working lurk mode more than usual, but here's mine to add to the count. And that's why you guys want to celebrate those. They count, and now I got to do 5 to 5 more people. Boom. There you go. All right. I'll give you guys just a few minutes since mine are just now hitting. And a member plus from B Nipple, that is Agent of Chaos. 276. Thank you. And a 5 bomb from Lone Wolf to take us to 281. Oh, now you gotta do it. B Nipple says, do these stack. Remember MSGS? I don't use them generally and did one for 20 months last Friday. Yeah, it's 20 months and now that's your 21. You can only celebrate your month one time and it counts. If it's a member plus or a VIP, it counts every time. I always forget to do this. Chris comes in and takes us to 282. See, this is why you upgrade to member plus. It's $1 more, but then every time you renew, you get to throw in. It's payday, mother effer, says Lone Wolf. And a VIP from Zinthos. See, hope you and the fam are well. How's your best friend Herman Holst doing? He's doing great. He's doing great. You know what's funny is I actually wish I knew him in real life. He seems like a nice guy. You know, he does. I wouldn't mind going out to dinner with him. He's handsome. You know, make fun of me all you want. I don't care. I just checked. No more available. Yeah, you can only do it once a month. So if you do it at the very end of a month and the very beginning of the next month, they'll feel close together, but you can still only do it once in a month. So now we're 17 away from being on pace. Is anybody going to do it? You guys will get... I'm going to do 2 minutes. 2 minutes of extension here. I'll give you 2. You want to do 17, do it. You don't scramble once I redirect. Who did that the one day? We were literally in writer's room and they started going crazy. I was like, really? Lona, you have to go to Netherlands? I actually would love to go to Netherlands. That's who I cheer for in the Euro Cup and in the World Cup. I cheer for Ned. Oh, man. Let's go. I love watching them play. I bet you don't like Dutch people? That's just Zubair's joke. I literally have a Holland hoodie from when I was in their airport. Bright orange. He's not allowed to go there. Too many hate crimes on his record. Reforge has replaced Concord as number 1 in Herman's heart. I still don't get what he saw in Concord. Like, listen, man, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes bad judgment calls. But, man, Herman, like, give me a little ring-a-ding on the phone, and I'd have taken one look at that and been like, I don't know what you see, dude, but this looks like trash. Go to Amsterdam? Oh, I would love it there, dude. I would love it there. All right, you guys got 1 minute. 1 minute. We need 17 to be on pace. And then I'm going to spam the link, and we're going to go to the writer's room. We're going to figure out what we're going to do. No more soccer. Soccer's over. I'm on the final stretch of this curriculum that I'm writing, so my evenings aren't going to be as cramped. We're going to get back into a better cadence of recording uploads. Thank you, everybody who supported the big one last week that's still cooking. The PlayStation 5 Pro was underestimated. And he did it! Amskin did it! He figured it out! He got us to 285. He upgraded to Member Plus. That's my man. And a 10 bomb from Kyle Wilkerson takes us to 295. You love to see it, chat. And a 20 bomb from Charles Freeman. Unbelievable. He gives us a little extra to take us past where we needed to be. Charles Freeman's been so generous these last couple of months, dude. These big, huge member bombs. Listen to me now. Listen, I do a 20 member bomb if enough people upgrade. And you guys get so close every day. You need 5 people to upgrade. Just 5, all right? Amskin did it. And I think somebody else did. How many people upgraded today? We got a brand new member plus today as well, and that counts. If it's a brand new person or an upgrade, I count that, all right? We got an upgrade at 0 days, a join at 0 days, and then Boris, did you upgrade today? And Brett? Boris and Brett, did you guys upgrade today? It's saying that you upgraded to member plus 0 days ago. Were Boris and Brett yesterday? If 5 people upgrade, I drop a 20 bomb. You guys have gotten close each day, and then we stop short by like 1 person. What do I upgrade to VIP Plus? No. That doesn't count. I want people to jump into Member Plus out of Standard. It was yesterday. I appreciate your honesty, Boris. Yeah, you could have tricked me. So, Amskin and Laker, we have 2 people at Member Plus. You'd need 3 more. L. Deuterino, 28 months. And a VIP. Thank you so much, El Deuterino. Appreciate it very, very much, Deuterino. Sorry, I had to. All right, let me do... I need to do 5 more because you guys got the 300. You left the wording open. If you upgrade to Member Plus and above, I guess that's true. The wording is vague. The point is they're jumping from Standard. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get the Member Plus and above number up to 600. That's the next milestone. Please give me a PS5. I'm sorry, this is not a PS5 charity. I apologize. We don't have the ability to give you one. And you created your account 5 days ago, so you're just a bot, apparently. That was some hoops just to upgrade. Yeah, it's actually making it really difficult on us to hit our goals. It really is. Like, I've been a member plus for a few months. Lona, did you count mine? I just started doing that initiative this week and last week, so I can't retroactively count people. I'm going to be dropping 20 bombs until my credit card will get flagged. Like, I can't do that. We just started doing that incentive this week of like, hey, if you guys upgrade and enough people upgrade in a day, I'll bless some folks. I can't do it retroactively because there's like, how many people are at member plus right now? 341. Like, if I was like, yeah, I'm going to retroactively do it for all 300 some odd people that have upgraded, that would not be, I can't do that. I can't do it. I think so it means he doesn't want you to count it. I've been member plus for a few months. Did you count mine? No, he's not. I didn't count yours. The only 2 member pluses that we got today was a brand new member, Laker Chaffee or Chafe, and then Amskin. Amskin upgraded and Laker was brand new. So if 3 more people were to upgrade or just sign up brand new, I would drop a 20 bomb. I owe you guys 5. Did I do it yet? I think I need to do it for the 300. I don't think I did it. No, I've not done it yet. Let me do it. You guys are missing out on like really, really easy ways to boost the member count. All you got to do is upgrade. Like so many of you probably, well, it's again, YouTube might be making it tough on you. I get that. Like, but we've gotten close a couple of days now. We've gotten like 3 or 4 people to upgrade. And it's like, oh, you only need 1 or 2 more. And then we stop short and it's like, we got to move on. I got to go to writer's room. So, okay, if you guys have been blessed with a membership, be sure to say thank you to the person that did it. And you can come with us to the writer's room. I'll spam a link in chat. This is your opportunity to get behind the scenes on what we do here and how we plan our shows. So come along for the ride, okay? And if you decide to upgrade, you also get into the green room and gameplay. That's even more content on the channel. And we're well on pace this week. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for being a member. You might have gotten a member today. Another huge day on the channel. We are on pace to hit 500 members on the week. I'll play A Quiet Place on Friday. We've moved Friday nights to Friday afternoon so that more of you can come. So it's spooky October. So you're on pace. I'll play Quiet Place on Friday afternoon. But you can now get 2 segments on Friday instead of just 1. You can still get Friday night, but that is the stretch goal because we're not trying to do Friday night every single night. It's tough on us. It's late. And the turnout was stronger on Friday afternoon when we did the experiment. So, but you can still get both. Guys, keep going. You have the opportunity to get a doubleheader every Friday. I'm going to end the previous stream and bring folks over to the writer's room. And then I'm going to change that thumbnail. We are no longer live.